and get ready for the ride.
You're in the danger zone.
Holy mackerel.
Holy mackerel, indeed. We are finally here, folks. Welcome into the Danger Zone. Friday night already. Love it. Murph, talk to me. How's your week been, brother?
Holy mackerel. I didn't know you were adding that to the intro. That's awesome, though. I started laughing. Oh, man. Hey, the intro always gets me lit, man. It's a feel-good Friday. It gets me ready to go. Although I did need a little help. I'm drinking a Monster before I start having anything else because it's been a rough day. Been a long one. Been at work. Been putting that work in this week, and I guess our boys have been putting the work in too. So we got a little training camp stuff to talk about. We got a little practicing going on, and I'm excited to get into it. I'm excited to hear what the listeners, our friends in the chat have to say, and we got a guest to get us up to speed, so to say.
I like it, man. That we do. We've talked about it before on this channel. You and I both out of market. So it's always nice to get someone in here who's not, someone in here who went and seen this team this week. He actually got to see them click clacking, man. Pads are on, tackles are happening, Braylon's running through defense. Yeah. It's that kind of week in the danger zone. I can't wait to hear about some of it, man, because we've just did 6 months straight Jets talk with no tackling. So kudos to you, sir. We made it. Now, dude, now it's getting real. Shit's getting real, dude. Last night there was preseason football.
Yeah, and I didn't even. What's bad is I didn't even watch it. But it's just the fact that I know it's there. I feel it. My heart is swelling again. Football's back, baby.
And I heard the other day, like Thursday nights will not be without football, like for the rest of the year. I'm like, bro, that's when shit starts feeling real.
That's legit.
For real. How was your work week?
It started off good, and then the last couple days were pretty rough. But it's typical work week, working my butt off. But somebody's got to pay the bills around here.
That is true, especially before we get super chats opened up. So yeah, as you guys can see above us here, got a little thing for our little monologue here in the beginning of each show. I'm going to try to keep updated date and our goal. So we'll see. We got 68 to go, and hopefully by week 1, if not, man, by the trade deadline, we'll get it. We'll get it. But if you're number 501, man, I'm slamming the door shut. So it sucks to be you.
No more.
No more after that, dude. Because dude, I've supported people, and it's like 500's my goal, and then thousands my goal. 2,000. I'm not doing that, bro. Yeah, 500 strong. We'll have our fun, man, on Fridays and check out. Which all we could ask for, man. A little bit of therapy,
Mm-hmm. And we already have a great group of people that come in here and just BS with us about Jets football or just football in general, like whatever. And sometimes we'll get way off topic, but seriously, we got a great group of guys and gals coming in. We appreciate all you guys coming in and hanging out with us. Makes Friday nights fun.
It really does. And again, tonight we don't have to fake it as much. Not that we fake it, but like we don't have to really reach into our minds to pull up, a 20-minute segment. I think it'll flow, especially with this guy who we have coming on. If you're in the chat, you probably already seen me tease it. Murph, you kind of teased it as well. The description down below is always a teaser. If you click that, you can actually find his name down there in blue. Check him out. Subscribe to him. He's killing it. Started like half as long ago as me, and he's got like thousands already. So check him out for sure. I'll let him speak for himself. He's got a couple minutes here. Before I go to him, Murph, got to see that shirt, man. That looks dope.
Oh shoot, I forgot. My camera's not on. Anyway, yeah,
Dude, love
right.
it. Air Wilson.
Yeah.
I love it, dude. You got him on in your frame. I got another exciting guy in mind, man. It's just everybody's concerned with wins and losses, man. I just want to see our good players do good, and both guys we just mentioned, man, are going to be exciting to watch. So, Ricky,
all the
yeah,
negative propaganda that you've put out over the past couple months. This guy right above my right shoulder has been crying, dude. You gotta be nice to him.
yeah, I do feel bad at times, but like I don't know. I feel like no, I do, because like I'm like, bro, if he has 500 yards in September, I'm gonna probably spin back, but but I guess my pessimism is more in the vein of like I don't trust that he'll be able to do it. So he has to earn that back, and if I then change my mind, well, he earned it. We'll get there. And we'll get some hot. I teased it last show. I think you had already gone to bed, but I told Scott and Johnny both prepare hot takes because before this month is out, I need them from all you guys, not just tepid takes. I need some hot takes, man. I've given one or two out this year. Still get occasionally ripped for one or two of them, but I have more, man, and I want to get to them here in a couple weeks. So prepare yours. This is your warning, sir.
Okay. Hey, they're all hot. They're all hot when I spit them. No, yeah, I'll do a little thinking. It'll be nice to hear, especially tonight, hearing from Ryan, what's going on at camp and stuff, because I haven't been super plugged in. It'll be nice to hear what's going on, how people are looking and things like that, and then you can maybe start to formulate some things, you know.
That is true, man. It's a lot of what you're hearing, but then a little bit of dot connecting. Real quick, I'm sure we'll get into it with Ryan. I don't know if he saw it, if it was today or yesterday, but I just want to throw out there Quinnen Williams and John Simpson, both out 1 to 2 weeks. Precautionary, FYI. Quinnen, it's a calf, which, hey man, just don't rush him back because then it's an Achilles. Right now it's a calf. John Simpson, it's a back. So yeah, backs. We dealt with MC2 having back problems last year. So yes, please give them 2 weeks. But and I don't know if we want to talk about this yet. I'm still mulling it over in my head. But today I saw. You know who was at left guard in place of Simpson?
No, who was it?
Joseph Tipman.
Oh, they really like that other center, huh? They really like Myers. I think Tipman kills it at guard, so it won't upset me. But I would love to have a long-term center,
For sure. And I'm sure it's just cross training because you never know, man. You really don't, especially with AVT. But AVT and Tipman at guards, man, you could pull both directions. It could be cool too. But let's hope Simpson's back and this is all water under the bridge. Anyways, kept him waiting long enough, man. The chat, they're getting pitchforks out. They're like, show us this guest. So without further ado, let's go to him. I think he is ready to talk some Jets football in the Danger Zone. Not the first time either, a repeat guest. Welcome back to the channel, Ryan. Ryan Ward, TheJetsWard.
What is up, guys? Thank you for having me back. JETS, Jets.
That's right.
Oh, man, I'm so happy to be back with you guys. It's been a while.
How have you been doing, man? It's been, since what, right after the draft or it was something
like that, a little bit after the draft.
Yeah, so it's been a few months. You've been doing okay. You finally, got the demons out. You're ready for football season again. We're not depressed anymore. Is that how it is, or what's up?
I'm so excited. Training camp this past week when I went was my first time ever going, so I was really excited. Wow. So it was my first one. I was going to take my daughter, but she was a little under the weather. So I ended up taking my dad, who's never been there either. And just the experience was amazing. And a little bit off of Quinnen Williams, I saw that he was injured. He actually walked off the field that day on his own power. So he was okay. About a week or two, it should be fine. John Simpson with his back. Malachi Moore is dealing with an oblique as well. So that's a little one. I think he's going to be fine. But everything else, man, this team's going to be good. AG knows what he's doing. And when people are saying that he's everywhere, I mean it. He was everywhere on the field. Offense, defense, special teams. It did not matter. The guy was a machine out there. And it's just so good.
Is it possible that we're mixing the word up here a little bit and like Quinnen was just like had a real bad case of indigestion because he ate a whole calf? Like, baby calf. Like, hey, man's got to eat. He got to keep the muscles going. I'm just saying, like,
he looked like he was in a little bit of pain. In all honesty, it reminds me of like how everybody overreacted with the Justin Fields injury with the dislocated toe. Like, oh God, it's the end of the world. He seemed fine. He seemed okay, but I think AG's doing the right thing, keeping him out for a little bit because he's hitting Quinnen's hitting people on every play, so you don't want him to aggravate it. But watch out for Leonard Taylor III. He blew up Josh Myers in practice the other day, knocked him flat on his ass. So that kid's going to be really good as well. And Derek Nottie had some good plays. Byron Cowart was killing it on defense. The defense as a whole, people should be confident. They're going to be very, very good. Andre Sisco's a monster out there. Brandon Stevens was actually playing very well as well, covering Wilson on a couple plays and just doing very, very well.
You know what? We'll get into like specifics. I want to ask you though, like first time going to camp, man, like how did that feel rolling in? Like, was it packed? Did you get a good seat? Like, tell us about the experience and then we'll get into like the specifics.
Oh man, it was wonderful. Everybody there that works for the facility was just so helpful, telling us where to go and everything. My dad struggles to walk, so they were able to drive us in golf carts to the seating and stuff like that. So they had little shuttles going. It was packed. People coming out from everywhere to see our Jets. Oh man, it was just a wonderful experience. Seating was first come, first serve in the bleachers, or there was a standing area that you can go to. But my dad and I sat like in the fifth row and were able to see everything on the main field. And they had 4 football fields that they could practice. Kickers were off to 1. Defense broke up to others. Offense on others as well. It was overall just amazing. The people that worked there were great. The fans were really respectful as well. And it was, oh man, if you get to go. It was just a wonderful experience.
Bucket list for sure. You get some shade. Do they still have the overhang?
Yeah, they still have the overhang. They have another set of bleachers with another overhang as well, and VIP bleachers as well for anybody with private parking and stuff like that, or families. So they have a lot of seating. The fields look wonderful. Looks like they redid the fields a little bit, like they redid the inside as well. So it was. I want to go back. It was that great, and it sucks. I know Richie from Jets Media was there. I wanted to talk to him a little bit, but I didn't get the chance to see him. Shout out to him. He's been doing a great job as well. And shout out to you guys too. I love watching you guys every Friday night. You guys are doing a great job. And for those in the chat, make sure you like and subscribe. They do great work over here, guys.
Thanks, man. And I told them the same thing because like you kind of get a different flavor out of both our channels. This is more like one long form Friday night, which is a time when not a lot of people are streaming, and then yours is more of the quick nuggets. And you do live stream as well and rankings, which I always like to see. Let me ask you. So you get there, you feel the place out. Was it I'm a little mixed up on the days this week. I know there was a day when the offense was really struggling, and then there was a day when they weren't. What was that like seeing Justin Fields led offense?
He he commands the huddle. He does a really good job. The players are in, they're efficient, they do everything. I was on the day when the offense wasn't doing their best. Fields was missing a lot of throws. He should have been picked off about 4 times. He was picked off once. It wasn't the most efficient day for him. Adams had a really nice pick on a deflection, which was great from Jordan Clark, which was nice. Tyrod Taylor, man, was balling out for the second team. That guy's doing awesome. So watch out for him. I know Murph doing the looks and everything.
It's almost like somebody had a take regarding those 2 quarterbacks, but
we'll
ignore that.
Tyrod's been dominating in camp so far. I think it should be more of a competition. I'm a big Fields fan, and I love that they're giving him all the support. But Tyrod is looking very, very well. Malachi Corley had a couple nice catches, but also he was on the third team, and Adrian Martinez was his quarterback. And Corley didn't seem to know his positions for the routes and stuff like that. So Martinez was like yelling at him on one play to get to his spot. So that wasn't very good. But Jamal Pritchett is a beast, undrafted wide receiver. That kid in the slot is a monster. He's always open. This new guy, Brandon Smith, I think his name is. He's always open. Always on this, and he's playing with the second team. Tyrod loves throwing it to him. So watch out for that guy to fight for the number 2 receiver.
Wait, to be clear, we're not talking about Arian Smith. We're talking about we're talking about Brandon Smith.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was with us last year and he was killing it in camp, I'm pretty sure.
I'm telling you right now, if he comes out in the preseason games and lights it up, he can be the number 2 receiver. Because he was open all the time. He's big, he's quick. They had him on the inside, they had him on the outside. Every time he's a red zone threat, so watch out for that.
You know what? I'm interested in hearing, like you said, Pritchett gets open all the time in the slot. Brandon Smith is a big body on the outside. He's getting open all the time. I don't care as much what offense they're with, whether they're with the 2s, the 3. Who are they going against?
So Pritchett was up against some of our safeties, so he was up against Moore on one play. AZ Thomas was covering Smith on a couple of them. That kid's legit. Watch out for him. He's really, really good. Our backup defense, like Derek Nottie was out there with Byron Coward as the starting defensive tackles. In all honesty, Francisco Mauigoa was on the second team and had a pick. So he was really good as well. In all honesty, AZ Thomas got beat by Smith a couple of times and got beat by Arian Smith on a play as well. When he's not being able to press cover him and Smith has space, that kid could fly. He is a beast down the field. They're having him do a lot of crossing routes and everything, but if they just send the guy deep, I think Fields and Tyrod can get him the ball. The kid's got blazing speed, and his route running is a lot better than what people are saying. He's very crisp with his routes, Arian Smith this time, and better hands than a lot of people are saying too.
Okay. I mean, that was something that, to me, that just pops off. I mean, everybody talks about it, but, man, when you really, like, pay attention to it, Arian is, like, fast. Like, it's unreal. Like, he can have 5 yards of separation before the quarterback finishes his drop back.
Mm-hmm.
And that's real deal speed. That's the type of, like, like the Tyreek Hill, Deshaun Jackson type stuff. And I'm not comparing him to those players, like, as a player, but I'm just saying, like, that's that type of speed. And if he can develop, if this coaching staff knows what they're doing, they could turn him into a real deal player.
Oh, I'm excited for him. I wasn't the biggest fan when they drafted him, but from everything I saw, the speed is electrifying. And Tanner Engstrand really likes this guy. He was talking to him a good amount. They're using him on special teams as well. It could be a punt returner along with Jamal Pritchett, kick returner. A player that I do want to shout out, though, is Donovan Edwards. That the undrafted running back we got from Michigan. He is an elite receiver out there because they're having him coming out of the backfield on wheel routes. He's making some electrifying catches, and he's got a lot of power too. He's got better speed than a lot of people think as well. He was making some big plays on this team, and I wouldn't be shocked if he's competing for a final running back spot on this roster too. Isaiah Davis had a good day. Braylon Allen didn't actually practice the day I was there. He was dealing with a leg issue, but he was back at practice today. Brees had a good day. He had a couple touchdowns. Got slammed by Watts, though, on one play. Watts came off the edge unblocked, and Brees got lit up, so that wasn't fun to see. But
well, since you brought it up, like some of these are going to be exciting battles to watch. Can we get an idea of? Can you give us maybe like a few of your most anticipated training camp battles? Like, we're early into it. These guys are just getting into form, just learning the playbooks and stuff. So this is going to be going for a little bit. What are you most excited about? Like, give me like 2 or 3 of the ones that you're like, who's going to take this spot, whether it's RB2 or safety 1, whatever it may be. Just, what are you looking forward to the most?
Malachi Moore is going to be one of our starting safeties. The kid is electric out there. The kid, he's competing with Adams, and Adams seems like a step slower. He had a pick the other day on a deflection, which was okay. But Moore just seems like he's everywhere on the field. In zone, man, he can do it all. And the leader on that team. I think Francisco Mauigoa might be fighting for the third linebacker spot with Jamin Davis on the outside. He actually was covering pretty well, and I was actually surprised with how good he was doing. Another one, receiver number 2. It's either going to be Reynolds or Brandon Smith. Honestly, Alan Lazard, I'm going to tell you right now, I didn't see him do much. They didn't really have him doing much on the field that over there. So,
let me ask you.
Watch out for Stone Smart for tight end too.
Hey, I like Stone Smart, man. I really do. Ruckert, he's in the third spot, if not further down for me.
Well, they're moving him to fullback.
Like H-back or straight fullback?
Straight fullback. They're going to have him compete with Bowden.
Damn. H-back I could see, do a little of both. But hey, man, if you're just going to be a fullback, Ruckert, maybe I'll let you fight for that gig. Think
about it this way. The Niners had Kyle Jadzinski for a while, I think his name was, and they used him as a receiving type fullback as well. And Ruckert can block pretty well. And if you put a tight end back there, it's been done before. So Ruckert, I think, is a better use of a tight end anyway. And Beck, who we signed in free agency, he didn't look bad either, but he's looking more like a tight end rather than a fullback at this point.
Interesting. Hey, I have a question from Ricky, New York Live, another Jets channel on YouTube. Check him out, guys. He said he's been working steady Fridays, so he hasn't joined us in a while, but I'm going to get to his question because it's a good one. Ryan, have you seen anything from 81 Wilson? I think that might be Pokey. I could be wrong. Mm-hmm. And then also Tyler Johnson.
Tyler Johnson is looking like one of Fields' favorite receivers to throw it to at this point, other than Garrett Wilson and Mason Taylor. They're using Tyler Johnson in the slot a lot and on the outside that he can maneuver everywhere and a very crisp route runner, good possession type receiver, solid hands as well, and a fantastic blocker out on the field. So he was having a really good day the other day as well. Pokey Wilson, number 81, was struggling. He had a couple drop passes and everything. They're trying to use him more as a gunner on special teams. So watch out for that. If they can get like another Irv Charles type of player, I think that's what they're trying to do with Pokey Wilson. But for right now, Johnson is looking very well.
Yeah. And Johnson, he's been in the league a couple years, and I think he's got some talent. I just, I feel like he just kind of got buried on the depth chart behind some talented wide receiver groups. And this is the year for him. This is the year for a lot of those guys because, like you said, wide receiver 2 is up for grabs, which means wide receiver 3 is up for grabs and 4. You know what I mean? Like it's the time for these young guys to, or even older guy vets like Reynolds. Like show what you got because you don't get a whole lot of time or like opportunities in this league. And this is a time that they can show it. So if one of them guys can catch fire and start building something to have a career, we'll re-sign you, Tyler Johnson. You give us 650 yards and 6 touchdowns. Yeah, we'll re-sign you, buddy. Like, come on.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The biggest thing though that I've seen is a lot of the people are coming out and saying that Justin Fields holds on to the ball too long. One of the biggest issues I saw was, other than Wilson, if Wilson's not open, a lot of the other receivers in the first team aren't getting a lot of separation. So Reynolds isn't getting a lot of separation and everything, and you're trying to force him to throw it. He's holding on to the ball so long because there's no one to throw it to at this point. If Wilson's not open and Mason Taylor's not on the field, the other receivers are struggling to get open against our starting defense, which I'm liking a lot. So, because it just shows our defense is doing what they're supposed to do out there. But it's concerning because wide receiver 2 has been a big concern for me. And I know a lot of fans were saying, oh, we should sign Amari Cooper, who recently retired today. So that one's gone. So Keenan Allen's looking like he's going to the Chargers. He's meeting with them and there's mutual interest. And I don't think Terry McLaurin's getting traded here anytime soon. But I think the receiver is going to be a little bit of a struggle at this point this year if Arian Smith doesn't take that next step, or if Brandon Smith doesn't take another step forward. Tyler Johnson might get more of a role in this offense, or you're just going to see a lot of running, which I expect is going to happen because Justin Fields didn't run much in practice the other day when I was there, but the offensive line opened up a lot of holes for Breece Hall and for Isaiah Davis, who had a pretty good day as well. So the run game looked really good. And Membu on the right tackle was laying people out. So that kid is legit right now. I'm liking it.
That's what I love to hear, man. That's absolutely what I love to hear. And we're going to need that run game this year because it's like what you talked about. That's been a worry of mine as well. Wide receiver 2, like, hoping one of these guys can step up and take that slot and run with it. But it's going to be tough because if they're double teaming Wilson all day long, we might struggle, especially if Mason Taylor's not, if he's having some rookie bumps and, along the way, it could be tough. But that was something I actually did want to ask you. You kind of brought it up a little bit. We've had 2 or 3 different guys over the past few days that have been having some rumors about they're asking for trades or this and that. I just wanted you to highlight and give your thoughts on the potential of guys like Terry McLaurin, Micah Parsons. I feel like there's another one I was thinking of, but at least those 2 guys. Yes, no, would you? Is it stupid? Too much money? What do you think?
God, I love both players, and I mentioned something. I'll start with Parsons. He's going to cost way too much. I love Parsons, the player, but one player, I think that keeping Will McDonald and JJ, if he comes back right, I think having those 2 is better than just having one Parsons and giving up future first round pick, multiple picks, and then a couple players that could help this team. It's AG's first year. He wants to see what he's got out of the guys here. Would it be fun? Yeah, but you're selling your team. You're selling everything, and you're working with basically no draft capital down there. So I would love Micah Parsons, but doubt that's going to happen. I actually could see him getting traded to like the Raiders or something like that, where they could use another edge rusher and have the picks to get him. For Terry McLaurin, it would be interesting. I'd be more high on that one, but I doubt it happens. Just because I think Pittsburgh's going to have the capital to want to get him because they're going all in. They need another receiver there to go along with DK. So I think they would push to try to get him, or the Chiefs would try to get him. Imagine him going there. But Juwan Jennings, I would see as a player that would want to come. That would be a good fit here. He blocks, solid route runner,
the other guy.
Good possession type of guy. I think the most likely one would be Juwan Jennings. And going back to the Parsons thing, like I said, I'd love to have him, but he would be too much. I'd rather sign Christian Wilkins and a Josie Jewell on the outside linebacker or Juwan Bentley to play outside linebacker, fill 2 holes on the defense that we need. And I understand all the craziness going with Christian Wilkins, but just imagine a defensive line with Jermaine Johnson, Quinnen Williams, Will McDonald, and a Christian Wilkins, who I think is a top 10 defensive tackle in this league, if fully healthy. I think that would be more dominant than just one Micah Parsons and trading like Will McDonald and Quincy Williams and all these other draft picks and stuff like that, because that's what the Cowboys are going to want.
And not only that, like you said it, whoever goes for a guy like Micah Parsons has to mortgage the future. And I'm sorry, but like our future is already laid out. We have to draft a quarterback. We have to find one, if not 2. Like you can't. We're not in a position to just sell away tomorrow to make today, and it wouldn't even make today good enough to. Yeah, no, I'm no. Come on.
Yeah,
you're giving up way too much.
Yeah, when you look at it all, like we're not really in a position for buying right now because we don't even know what we have in a team. We don't even know what we have in our coaches, So at the moment, we need to just install our system, let these guys duke it out, and see where we're at after a few weeks. If it's like, oh my God, we have a huge hole here, we got to fill it. We got to find somebody that can perform a little better than what we have. Then maybe a few weeks into the season, we can look at it or something. But even then, it's like Dane said, like the future is likely drafting a quarterback next year, unless Justin Fields tears it up, which I don't anticipate, unfortunately. We're probably drafting a quarterback next year, so we need to have assets and capital for that. And then once we have our quarterback of the future, which as Jets fans, we've seen about 23 of them, I feel like, then we can start building around them and saying, hey, we're going to give you the best team we can around you. And all you got to go out there and do is just play ball, man, and do that thing,
It's going to be fun. I like the team and the structure that AG has right now with all these players. And the biggest concern for me right now is the depth on the linebacker position, though. I think the wide receivers, you can make do with it. It's a concern, but not a big concern. Defensive tackles, we have a good quality of them. Quinnen Williams, and then if you start Byron Coward or Leonard Taylor III, I'd be happy with that next to him. The outside linebacker, Jamin Davis, I like him as a backup player, but he hasn't really proven much. Francisco Mauigo is a question mark. I like him, but he made some good plays the other day. But outside linebacker and out of linebacker depth is the biggest concern on this team that I think we need to attack, because if Jamie Sherwood or Quincy Williams goes down, that's a concern. You don't have much talent on that team. Roger McCrary Ball is another one on the team as a linebacker, but he's bounced around the league for most of his career, and I don't think he's going to make the team anyway. So I like the players we have, and I like what AG's doing. The problem is there are some big holes on this team right now. As Chris Beach brings up, we got Sherwood, Quincy, Francisco, Davis, Barnes, McCrary Ball. Ball and Davis aren't even going to make the team, in my opinion.
Where does Barron fit in, if at all? And I do have some questions from the chat I want to hit, but did you even see Barron out there yesterday?
Yeah, he bounced around. He was on the edge and on the interior. He reminded me of like a JFM role. He built up some more strength and everything, and they bounced him on the interior and exterior. I think he's better on the exterior. He's got a lot of speed and can stop the run pretty well. I'm excited to see what he does, but I think the Jets defense is very high on him because he's got a lot of potential and a lot of upside, and he's solid in the run stopping right now. But I think he can build up on some more pass rushing moves. Strong as hell, though. Strong kid.
He looks the part. I know we took him really late and he's not on anyone's radar, but like, please practice squad him because he's more worthy of a spot than a guy like Zach Kuntz.
Yeah.
But anyways, I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. I do have a couple questions. I think you touched on one already. But if you could talk to Artie real quick, how is the tight end Stone Smart doing?
Doing awesome. The team loves him. I think he's going to be our tight end too. They use him as a big slot and on seam routes. I think he's going to be good. Not much of a blocker, as we know, but I think he is a very good receiver. He is very sneaky fast out there and can get open. If he wants to be on the field a lot, he needs to work on the blocking. But other than that, as a receiver threat, he's very, very good.
Very, very good insight. Actually, we talked about Stone Smart last week, and we were hype over him. The only thing is, like, how much do they run 12 personnel? I think it's going to be a lot, so you might see him out there a lot.
I think it's
Ricky,
going to
though,
be good. Oops, sorry.
Who's a realistic wide receiver, Ricky wants to know, who shakes loose when other teams cut down that we might be able to scoop up?
Ooh, that's a good one. Roman Wilson from the Steelers, I think, could be a sneaky option from them. They got a lot of receivers over there. I don't know how high they are on Roman Wilson. He's been injured there. From the Chiefs, I think Juju Smith-Schuster could be cut because they have a lot of good receivers, and I don't know if he's going to fit because he's been injured again too.
What about Devontae Adams?
Maybe a little Mecole Hardman.
There's one player who I would love a sneaky trade that I would love the Jets to make, and that's Jahan Dotson from the Eagles. I would love him. He's the third option for them. They got him from the Commanders. He's still only in his early 20s. Good receiver, good route runner and everything, and they don't utilize him. They utilized him in the Super Bowl where he came up big for them. But I think that kid's got a lot of potential and be a great complement to Garrett Wilson as well.
All right, dude. I got another one here from Random Man, a frequenter of Let's Talk Jets Radio. Good guy. He has a question. He's actually going to camp tomorrow too, so if you have any tips for him, that would be cool. But he says, here's my question as someone who has not watched a lot of practice. How has Braylon Allen looked? And I assume not Alan Lazard. And do you think Glenn will put him in as RB1 if Brees continues to have a rough camp / preseason?
So that's a great question. Unfortunately, I didn't see Braylon Allen practice. He was out the day that I was there. But from what I've watched, what I've heard, he's electric in camp, and he's a lot faster than what people are saying. So I wouldn't be shocked if Brees does keep struggling. Don't be shocked if Braylon Allen becomes the running back one. He's going to be used on short downs. He's going to be used on goal line situations. And Coach Glenn today in practice, they had a soundbite of him. He came out and said that he wants to use Brees more as a receiver. Anyway, as a receiving back, Braylon is going to be your thumper and be your guy out there. So I think Braylon's going to be a guy who's going to fight for that number one running back spot.
Wait a second. I could have swore I heard something about Isaiah Davis was going to be RB1.
Hey, go ahead, Ryan.
Davis is electric out there too. He's a good complement to both Brees and him. Isaiah Davis the other day looked great. He broke through the holes really good. One cut back, ran somebody over. Very tough kid. But right now it's a competition between Brees and Allen for that running back one spot. And don't be shocked if you see both of them on the field at the same time, because they're going to be the offensive coordinator, Tanner Engstrand. He's just a ball of energy out there, loud as hell, and knows what he's doing. So he's creating really good plays, getting people to where they need to be. And AG said he wants all the players to be detailed. That practice that I went to, yeah, we made some mistakes on offense, but everybody was detailed. There were very little penalties and everything. And if you were penalized, he took you out. So there's accountability being held there too. So it's not all just talk from our coaches, which is great.
That takes me back to the running back thing. Like, I just want the hot hand, like, because we saw it last year. Brees was still getting RB1 touches after he was just putrid. I don't care who starts. I really don't. I've had hot takes, yes, but like, what it boils down to is who makes us a more threatening offense. Braylon being RB1, I am a little skeptical because I think it's going to bring another guy down into the box. Not saying he can't, make them pay for it, but I'd like speed back there. But hey, man, like you said, if we do a little 21 personnel and have Brees, we can have him go out wide, whatever we want to do, it would be cool than to just be this one-dimensional I formation, running down the B gaps. I don't know, man. Talk to me.
There's gonna be some funky plays that we have, and if you bring somebody down in the box, I'm telling you, Mason Taylor is gonna beat you over the top. The kid is electric, very fast, great hands. So you can bring somebody down in the box. Justin Fields will get outside of you and just dump it off to Mason Taylor down there, and he'll run for years. So
the one thing that this is a little unrelated, but I am kind of excited if Stone Smart actually takes a hold of that tight end 2 position and we're running 12 personnel. The great thing about it is with him being as athletic as he is, you're not getting the deficiencies of running 12 personnel because usually, we got some slower tight ends on the field. We only got 2 receivers, and no, you got a third pass catching threat. And then if Mason Taylor is proven to be a pass, that could be a solid personnel group for us. But anyway, that was just something that popped up in my head. I did want to ask you, this show, anybody who watches this show knows that my boy is Will McDonald. I'm kind of curious, are you seeing him in a lot of run sets? Like, or is he kind of coming in as situational pass rusher? How are they looking with the defense so far on that?
3-down guy. He's a 3-down guy.
Really?
Out there. Yep.
Wow.
He's built up some muscle, and he's actually been much better in the run defense. He has been very good. He's holding the edge very well. Still getting in the backfield on pass downs, but has been dominating in run downs as well. The kid's been doing very well. The coaches are doing really well with him. That kid's going to be electric. Another 10 sack season coming his way this year. So he's going to be a 3-down guy.
Dude, yeah, and Murph, yeah, you got that one. That's all you. I'm curious if you saw Membu win some reps against Will McDonald as well, because I'm sure that's one of the key things to look at when you're there.
I will say Will McDonald did win the day against him. Membu's still learning. He's still getting his footwork down and everything, but in the run game, he is a dominant figure, especially when he has a full head of steam going down for a linebacker and everything. He's leveled Quincy on one play. So that was interesting. But Membu, they're having a good battle out there. The thing is, Will McDonald that spin move he's got is just dominant. So Membu's got to work on that to stop. But I will say, Membu in the pass game has been very, very impressive too. The whole line, honestly. And John Simpson and AVT are, in my opinion, the best guard duo in the NFL. The holes they make up the middle, they are physical. They are just nasty. This run game is going to be very good this year. And to say, you guys were talking about something the other earlier with John Simpson being out and Josh Myers coming in at center and Tippmann going to guard. The reason I think they like Myers so much is because he played with Justin Fields in college. So there's a relationship there already. So there's that. Myers is good. He's been a starting center for years now, but Tippmann's going to win the job.
Yeah, I think I understand, like, if you want to get Justin Fields comfortable initially as he's learning the playbook and stuff, maybe you throw him out there for snaps and stuff, but you got to give it to the best guy. I mean, when it comes down to it, you got to give it to the best guy. This is the NFL, man. These guys get paid, and they're paid to win, so you put the best guy in the best position for him. But aside from that, I did want to ask you, we've heard press clippings and stuff of AG talking about Mason Taylor, and he brings up that, hey, he's looking pretty good in the blocking game, right? So I was wondering if you saw anything regarding that. How did he look to you? Did you get an eye on any of that stuff? Because I know it's hard to keep track of everybody, every player, all the, you know what I mean? But What did you see out there?
He's coming along. He's doing better than what we thought when he was coming out of college. He is a very willing blocker. He needs to just keep his pad level down. He got stood up on a couple of plays and got bumped back, but when he anchors down, he's a tough son of a gun, and he will move people. So the day that I saw him, he did struggle a little bit, but again, he had to deal with Will McDonald on some plays. He had to deal with a blitzing Quincy on a couple of plays. So he's going to struggle, I think, in training camp, but I think he's going to come together. I think he's going to be an overall dual threat tight end as a receiver and a blocker. I think his blocking is coming a long way, but he's still struggling a little bit. He just needs to get his pad level down and anchor down better, and he'll be fine.
Yeah, and hey, that stuff comes with reps, man. He'll get it down. I have faith that he's going to have a pretty good rookie season. I don't know. I'm not saying he's going to have like a like the dude from the Lions 2 years ago or Brock Bowers last year. I'm not saying all that, but I think he's going to have a very solid rookie season for us.
I think he's going to have a better season than a lot of people think. Justin Fields loves throwing to him in practice, man. Garrett, we talk about the relationship between him and Garrett, but
he like Cole Kmet too back in with the Bears and stuff too. He does like a tight end. But our guy Ricky here, he says last question. And he loves his deep cuts, man. If there's a guy that knows the roster inside and out, that's Ricky New York. You guys, you go check his channel out because he gets into it. He said, last question. You see anything from running back Lawrence Toafili? Who's
the guy we just picked up.
Very good pass catching back. Jets just brought in. So, did you notice anything from him, or is it too early? What's going on?
He's still trying to learn the playbook. They used him on the third team offense as more of a motion guy. Getting him out of the backfield into the slot on the outside. Very good hands from the drills, the receiver and running back drills that they were doing. He's got solid hands, great speed. I could see him being more of a kick returning type of guy, a punt returner. It's still early for him right now, though. They just recently picked him up. Once he gets the playbook in his hand, we'll see more. But I think he's got a long road ahead of him because he's got to fight Donovan Edwards, who has been balling out in practices as well as a receiver and as a running back. So I think Toafili is good, but he's got a long way ahead. He's got to have to win reps on special teams if he's going to want to make the team.
Yeah, I think that might be one of the hardest positions to lock in a spot right now on the team for a young player trying to make a name for himself, because we got RB 1, 2, and 3, and I hate to say locked in because I want there to be competition and stuff like that, but those guys all three of those guys add value to this team, and then you bring in a guy with a pretty good pedigree like Donovan Edwards, and then he's already showing out in camp. You got, like you said, you got an uphill battle there. It's going to be a tough one for any of these young guys trying to come in and make a name.
Yeah, I think it's going to be tough for even Nkwonu, the guy we had last year as our kick returner, who was really good for us. I think he might not even make the team because Jamal Pritchett's been getting a boatload of the kick returns and punt returns. So I think we're going to carry 3 running backs. I think it's just going to be Breece, Braylon Allen, and Isaiah Davis. And if we do carry a 4th one, I think it's going to be Edwards. That'll be my bold prediction for the Jets if we do 4 running backs. I don't think Nkwonu makes the team.
Do you think, let me ask you this with the roster gymnastics, if you do go 4 running backs, does that cut into your fullback allotment?
Yeah. So Jeremy Ruckert right now is a very, very interesting player. I think he's on the roster bubble. I think if Stone Smart keeps showing out and if he can't beat Bawden for the fullback position, I think Ruckert could get cut or traded. I don't know a team that would want him as a trade option. They might be more willing to get him as a free agent. Malachi Corley is another one on the roster bubble, in my opinion. The guy's got solid hands, but he's struggling to get open, and he's struggling to remember where he's supposed to go. So he's a very raw product right now. I'd hate to see him go. But with some of the younger guys that have been coming in, I haven't even mentioned Quentin Skinner, who has been doing pretty well, had a big touchdown catch today on a deep ball from Tyrod. He's another one who's been balling out as a receiver. So even though we have Garrett Wilson as our number one and a whole slew of number two options, you could definitely tell Malachi Corley's got his work cut out for him. He's probably on the roster right now, wide receiver 5.
Yeah, I was wanting to ask you about. First we'll get on to this. I just saw Jake got in here, and you kind of touched on it earlier. You were touching on Naughty and stuff like that. Do you want to give Jake and some of the other guys a update on the defensive tackle thing? You were talking about Cowart and stuff.
Yes. So right now it's looking like our 2 starting tackles are going to be Quinnen and Leonard Taylor III, who has been dominating. He blew up Josh Myers in practice the other day and has been doing very, very well. Byron Cowart has been showing out. Derek Nottie as a run stuffer has been very good and a great leader in that room. We have Peyton Page, who has been dominating as well as an undrafted guy, who I think will make this team because he's been blowing up the run and blowing up the pass and could actually be a very good rotational defensive tackle. Fatoma Molba, who is another undrafted guy, he's been struggling a little bit. In the run game, he's been okay, but hasn't been great. But other than that, the defensive tackle position, I think we could add another one. That's why I keep saying Christian Wilkins, because I feel more comfortable with that, and then have a Leonard Taylor and a Byron Cowart and a Derek Nottie as rotation pieces. But if it stays like this into the season, I'd be comfortable. It's not the biggest need that the Jets have.
Well, I'm rooting for Molba because WVU guy here. So.
Oh yeah.
I'm hoping he can get it together, but I never did expect him to be really much of an asset in the pass game. But I think he can clog them holes when we need him to,
Watch out for Peyton Page. The kid's dominating in the pass runs and the run defense. So he's a sneaky good one that we got.
Dan, you're muted, bud.
Yeah, sorry, I was talking off camera. I do have a question here, though. We hit the Micah Parsons stuff, Sean. If you wanted to rewind maybe 10 minutes, we agree with you. Long story short, but I want to ask Ryan and Murph's thoughts on the AVT debate, especially with Simpson, getting a little nicked up. Maybe it sways you, but I want to know, what do you guys think of Sean's question? Should we pay AVT? And I assume he's asking before the season, but interpret it as you want.
I think AVT should be the next one paid. I think he should be extended. You want to keep your young offensive line intact, and AVT can be an anchor on this. He's coming back from injury, fully healthy. He's going to be good. He's going to be one of the better guys in line, in my opinion, for the Lineman of the Year award. I think you do pay him before the season starts. That would be my guess, because the Jets coaching staff really loves him, it seems. And I think when he's there, he complements both Membu and Tippmann very, very well and helps them out a lot, both in the run and pass. So I think he is somebody that needs to be paid sooner rather than later. John Simpson is another one. I want to keep him so bad. If anything, I would love to sign both of these guys. John Simpson probably after the season, but AVT I think should be signed before the season.
So if you paid just one or the other, which is your guy?
AVT.
Okay. So I'm going to say I agree with you. And I'm a big, I like John Simpson a lot. I not just the on the field, but the off the field. I think he's a great dude. Honestly, I think he's a great culture fit for us. So I like both guys a lot. But to me, I feel like, and I said this, I think I said this last week. I think AVT has the highest ceiling of anybody on our line. Mm-hmm. And that's we got a lot of first rounders on the line, so that's a big statement to make. I feel like it's a little bit of a hot take, but I think he's got the highest ceiling on there, and we've seen it, but we've also seen the injuries kind of set him back a little bit, but we've also seen him be versatile. We've seen him do a lot of different things, and he's just been a great dude the entire time. I think he's healthy now, and I think he's set to have a really good season this season, so I'm down for paying him. totally understand if they want to wait a little bit, wait 4 or 5 weeks into the season, do like the whole JFM thing where like mid-season they pay him, give him the bag. Totally fine with that. John Simpson, we saw a good year out of him, but we only saw 1 year, and we're going to have a whole different play scheme. We're going to have, a lot of things are changing. I just need to see it, let me see another year. And if he does it again and he's just rock solid for us again, then dude, pay both them guys.
Oh yeah, I would pay both of them.
If you can afford it, pay them both. Fuck it.
Oh yeah. My biggest concern with Simpson is you brought it up. He's had 1 good year with us, and it was a really good year. The problem is we didn't have a mobile quarterback last year. The biggest concern with John Simpson when he got from Baltimore, he was one of the most penalized guys in the league. And remember who his quarterback was. It was Lamar Jackson, who's going to run around all the time in the backfield. That's Justin Fields too. He's going to move and everything. So the concern is, can John Simpson stay with those guys long enough and not get penalized for it? I think he can. I'm a big fan of his. I would pay both of them. I would pay John Simpson in halfway through the season if he's performing really well. Problem is, there is that concern. He's only played 1 good year with us, so.
Well, and that's how you afford it, right? Like you have to have a little faith. You have to project. Also, he's 28, 29, going to be 30.
Yeah.
If he was 25 and he already gave us 2 great years, or you know what I mean, we can't afford him. So like, it's more so for me with Simpson. How does he play this year? Even like half the season, how does he look? And then you take that and you say, is that good enough for the next year or 2? Or do we just want to draft a guard in the 2nd or 3rd round next year and go that route and have all 5 guys be under 26, or 27, which is insane to think about. But I think we do need to see more. I mean, Simpson, don't get me wrong, dude. He defended Brees when Brees got like a cheap shot last year, and he was in that guy's face like that. He won me over that day.
Yeah.
And if it was a sweetheart deal because he's only been good 1 year with us and he's aging, yeah, I'd give it to him right now. But if he wants fair market value, then I got to hold out and say, hey, I got a day 2 pick earmarked for a guard next year. Let me just go that route unless he tests the market and comes back to us.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, a sweetheart deal. Then yeah, if you're getting them for like $6 million a year or something for the next 2 or 3 years, and yeah, why not? It's only $6 million a year, and he's not going to be horrible. Like I don't think you're going to get a horrible guard out of John Simpson. Like he might have a bad year, but it's still going to be better than half the guys you pick up out, off the street. The one thing I wanted is that you made up a good point. You made a good point about Lamar Jackson earlier, Ryan. Lamar is probably the toughest quarterback. It's weird because he's probably like he makes you look good, but then he also makes you look bad as an offensive lineman because of the way he is. He's so shifty. Like his running style isn't just like he takes off, boom, and that's that. Like he's like a pinball back there sometimes, bing, 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 like all over the place, looking for that receiver, bing, 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 and then he'll take off or whatever. And that is so hard when you're an offensive lineman because like you like see him out of the corner of your eye, kind of running out behind you, and you're like, oh, okay, so I'm gonna leverage this way and get up under him this way, and then Lamar just boom switches direction. And you're already prepared for, getting the inside on the left side, and all of a sudden he's on your right side. So your defensive guy sees him, but you don't because you're, looking forward. So then you got to try to shift, and it's so hard not to get like holding penalties and stuff whenever that happens. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of it from the lineman's perspective. That's got to be so hard to block for a guy like him. And I don't think like Justin Fields is an athletic dude, but he is not the same type of athlete as Lamar Jackson. Like he's not like as shifty and stuff. Like Fields is fast, he can move well and stuff like that, but he's more smooth, and it's not like I said, Lamar Jackson can be a pinball sometimes, like just in the backfield doing that. Like yeah, and it's crazy.
Justin Fields is going to be interesting this year. I think he's going to do very well with his legs. I think he's going to be a very good passer this year too. He looked really good in practice today after the struggles that he had the past couple of days. I think he's going to be much better. I think the biggest thing with this Jets team is you need to solidify the offensive line and keep these guys. I think Simpson and AVT both need to be signed. Keep the continuity because you guys know this Jets offensive line has just been a banded piece after piece after piece, and it's been no continuity on this offensive line. And now that we got those guys in here, you need to keep it because it's going to bring into the season and it's going to be easier to know your offensive linemen are going to be able to trust each other that they can handle what they got. So I don't like where it's like, okay, we're going to sign AVT, let Simpson go, and then just hope that a second round guard is going to come in and be able to solidify that role, or pick somebody off the free agency like a Brandon Sheriff who is always hurt. We tried that for many years and it's failed. So I think the best thing with this team is to sign the line, keep them intact for years to come, and maybe have to let like a Brees go, maybe franchise tag him or trade him. I love Brees and I would hate to see that happen, but I think the offensive line is much more important to this Jets team at this point, especially since you have two young guys in Braylon Allen and Isaiah Davis back there as well, where you can feel comfortable with those two handling the load of this running game. And I love Brees. He's got a lot of pressure on him this year to prove that he can be an elite running back in this league. So
one other thing to keep in mind too, like we have 30 million in cap space right now.
Yeah.
Next year we have 50. But like if you were to extend AVT this moment, who is 14 or 15 million on the cap, you're going to save 10 more. 10 more. You could take that 10 and give it to John Simpson. Like, I mean, it wouldn't be this year, but you know what I'm saying? Like one is going to wash the other, and the 50 million next year, like you have the money. I like what you're saying, Ryan. Like if you're going to have continuity one place, it's got to be O-line, especially when you have a rental mobile quarterback and a rookie that is going to be coming in. You gotta invest to the O-line. You don't want like the Drake May model where he comes in and it's just like Swiss cheese. And they're picking up our scraps. They're giving Morgan Moses 20 million guaranteed, like that's
He's
not what we want.
Yeah. And then
exactly.
You got Will Campbell who's getting eaten up by Clavon Chasen over there. So it's like, you got to keep the continuity. You got to protect your young quarterbacks. That's been the problem with Trevor Lawrence over in Jacksonville. They never provide him a good offensive line, and that's where he gets crushed. Jordan, it's Buffalo. I think they have a decent offensive line, but that's because, and Murph said this too, that good mobile quarterbacks can make an offensive line look better than what they normally are. And Josh Allen's a great mobile quarterback too, with a lot of power. So he makes his offensive line look a lot better. Going this time, you said Justin Fields as a rental. If he balls out, he's going to be looking for a contract with the Jets. So there's going to be more money down the line. And I think that could actually happen. The kid's only 26. So I think this could be the team where and I know I might be somebody who's in big favor of Justin Fields, but I think he can be very good. And if he is, he can be a franchise quarterback still. And we won't even have to worry about drafting a quarterback. We can focus on another young receiver or another big piece at the linebacking position or another position that is that we desperately need.
Yeah, I think Jets fans would not shed a single tear if we had to pay Justin Fields. If he was good enough to where we had to pay him, I don't think we'd shed a single tear. But I had at least one more training camp question I wanted to ask you. I forgot it earlier and I blanked out. But what did you see as far as like kick returning and punt returning? Like, who do you think are the favorites based on just like who you were seeing getting all the reps and things like that, and who looked good?
Pritchett and Arian Smith. Those two looked
really
legit like good kick returners. Arian Smith was his speed. Gibson, I don't think he's going to make the team. I think he might be a camp cut. Jamal Pritchett's been on fire, guys. I'm telling you that right now. He reminds me a lot of like a Greg Dortch that the Jets used to have, who's in Arizona right now. He's very shifty in the slot. Huh?
Dortch the Torch. Remember that?
Yeah. The kid's awesome as a punt returner and a kick returner. And he's just so smart too. And I think he can be like a pinball type of receiver in the slot as well. He just bounces off of tacklers. He's got good speed. And Arian Smith is that elite speed. He gets an open space, you're not catching him. So there's that one too. And here's another thing that a lot of people might not like either, and I'm going a little off. Michael Clemens has been looking fine as well. He's been looking decent with this new coaching staff.
Ryan, it was good having you tonight. Have a good one, brother.
Hey, I'm the same way. I'm not the biggest Michael Clemens fan, but the guy's been looking pretty good as a run defender on the edge over there. So he had a good practice when I saw him.
Against Breeze. No, I'm just
Are they giving Corley any returner roles or like snaps at all, or did they give up on that?
They're giving him a couple. I think they're still trying to give him a chance to try to figure out where he is. But it seems like Pritchett and Arian Smith are the ones taking this right now.
Wow. Okay. Well, as long as it's not Gibson, I'm happy.
Yeah.
Honest to God. As long as we're done seeing him fair catch the ball with 20 yards of separation all around him, I'm good.
You know what? I want to throw out. Yeah, go ahead, Ryan.
Another thing on special teams, Nick Folk looked awesome in practice. He went 6 for 6, had a 50-plus yard kick. Good. I think he's going to win the kicking job from Mavis as well. So it's great to have Nick Folk back.
And it is. I was stunned when they brought him in because he doesn't fit like what they're trying to do. He really doesn't. But like, I guess if you're going to deviate, you're going to do it at kicker, like I'll be the first to eat crow. I thought for sure that they would just keep going young and cheap. Hey, maybe Folk is cheap. I don't know. But
they said that they're going to bring in veterans as long as they think they can help the team. AG said that, and he says that they're going to win. So Nick Folk is going to win you games with his leg. He's still got it. He's been one of the best kickers the last 2 years, most efficient. So
if they mean that, then they'll bring in a punter before week 1 then.
Yeah, McNamara looked fine. He was kicking. He was booting the ball in practice.
All right. Anyway, yeah. So it didn't make sense based on the age thing. Like, if you're going to get rid of a rock solid punter because he's old, but then you pick up an ancient kicker, like, I don't know what we're doing. Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. But whatever. If he helps us win games, I'm down. That's all I care about.
Yeah, I think it was getting concerning because both Caden Davis and Mavis were missing kicks in training in practice. So you need to bring in consistency, and Nick Folk is going to give you that, especially if AG is telling the truth, where he's like, we're going out there to win. We want to get to the playoffs. We want to do all this, which you could say is coach speak, but this move shows that he thinks we can win now too.
One thing I wanted to ask you, just to get to change it up a little bit, it's more of a broad question than like a AVT or a kicker, and that's like, it seems like if you've seen guys succeeding in camp, you're already slotting them higher on the depth chart. And I wanted to ask you, like, how do you judge that? Because it is just camp. But devil's advocate, it's just camp. The lights aren't on yet. But then the other side of it is they're competing against other guys that are just in camp and they're doing better. So where do you decide how much stock to put into some of these performances you've seen thus far?
If you asked me this last year, I would have said I wouldn't, because Salah's going to love his guys. He's going to put whoever he wants out there. AG wants competition, and that's what's going on. These guys are fighting. You will see, in practice the other day on 7-on-7 drills, we had Sauce Gardner going up against Garrett Wilson, and it was like a dogfight to try to get open and for the plays. The two of them are going at each other, and then when the rep is done, they walk off the field and talk about why the other one won, or what the other can do better to get open or to beat a certain defense and stuff like that. They're helping each other. And that's the same thing with people who are competing. I know we don't like to say that Myers and Tippmann are competing against each other, but they are, because AG is new here and he wants the best guys that will work in his system, that he wants here, the AG guys. And that's why I keep saying, like, a free agent like Jalen Mills, who I love, I wish they would bring him back for his veteran leadership in the safety room. I'd rather have him there than Adams there to help out Malachi Moore and Andre Sisco and everything. And I even put on X because Jalen Mills put something on X about with his highlights with the Jets, and I quoted the New York Jets and said bring him back, and he liked it. So
he's an awesome guy on Twitter. He well worth a follow. He does still need a job. Well, that leads me to my question, or a question is our safety room. Like, a lot of people are saying we're going to keep 4. I think it was Samini and Buffalo Jet fan in the house. Salute, brother. They have the 4th guy being Jarius Monroe. Thoughts on him? Do you have a take there for safety 4?
He struggled the other day in training camp. He did okay, but he struggled on in coverage. If they were to keep 4, I honestly think, oh man, that is a tough one because they might move one of their cornerbacks to the safety room, like an Isaiah Oliver. So I could see him taking a role as a safety and a nickel behind Michael Carter, and then Monroe being put on the practice squad as like just a safety net.
Is Tony Adams a lock for the roster?
I don't think so. I don't. I think Malachi Moore has been pushing him too much, and Malachi Moore has been flashing, guys. Like, when I say he's been making big plays, big hits, and big plays, he has been. And AG loves this kid, and that's why I made the bold prediction earlier in the offseason that I think AZ, Thomas, and Malachi Moore can both start because both of them have been rock solid in training camp. Now, you'll have to see him in the preseason games. But if they continue to flash, I think both of those guys could be our AZ could be our number 2 cornerback, and Malachi Moore can be our starting safety.
Now, didn't you say earlier that AZ got burned a few times though?
Against Arian Smith,
if he's not getting that press, he's getting burnt. Like, I don't know.
Against Arian Smith too, but Arian Smith also burned Sauce Gardner in practice today.
So you're saying Arian Smith is that dude, though?
I think he's
either way.
You're
backing up one of my takes.
I think Arian Smith is going to be fighting for that wide receiver too, and if anything, he's going to be in a slot, or they can move him outside and push Garrett to the slot and have an electrifying out wide receiver room. So
either way, he's bringing something to our team that we really haven't had in a while, and that's speed, dude. Like, at receiver, we really haven't had much speed over the past couple years. I mean, we brought in McCole Hardman, and you guys saw how that went. But other than that, it didn't look good. So I'm excited to see that. And I do, I'm reserved on AZ Thomas, but I'm rooting for the kid. Like, I hope he does do good because, like, how long are we going to – obviously, we got Sauce Gardner locked up. I would like to see our CB2 locked up for years to come. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. And
so right now, it's like a 3-year Band-Aid, and we don't even know if he's going to be any good. But if AZ Thomas steps up and he's doing his thing and he takes over that spot, I would be elated.
I think AZ Thomas is going to be very, very good in this league. He reminds me a lot of like a Kenyon Mitchell from the Eagles, who's a solid cornerback as well. He's very lengthy and very physical. Doesn't have the best speed, but he's quick enough to get the job done, and he's a ball hawk. He will go after the ball, and he doesn't miss tackles. He's a very physical kid. So having him and Sauce on each side, I would feel comfortable for years in that cornerback room. And another player I think they should extend at the end of the season is Andre Sisco. He's been electrifying out there too.
Yes.
He was one of my favorite signings that they made. Very underrated.
We love him. Murphh especially.
Big Cisco guys over here.
I was shocked Jaguars let him go. Honestly.
Me too.
And I think it was Jets Chaos who has a buddy down in Jacksonville with the beat or something, or a creator. They knew they lost a good player. So it's not just, he had 7 picks in 2022 and 2023 combined. That's more than we've had in quite a while, so I would take it. Sticking with the secondary, I wanted to ask you, Crispy listed our corners here. Stiggers and JBC, do you think only one make it? Do you think 0 make it?
Repeat that one more time.
JBC, love him, and Quantez Stigger's another fan favorite. Do you think either of them can stick on the 53? Do you think maybe one? Do you think maybe we trade one for like a pick swap? Where are you at with the back end of the secondary room?
I don't think we keep both. I think if anything, JBC is going to be on the practice squad. Stiggers, they love Stiggers, and he's been very, very good in camp as well. He's been very Loctite in coverage, a very good man-to-man guy. And AG has been raving about this kid. He's been very, very good. His instincts have been gotten much better. So what we saw from him last year, he's basically taken 2 steps forward as a coverage guy and cornerback. So I'd be comfortable with him staying on the team. And if you need him to have a spot start or two, I trust it. The kid's good. He's gotten much better. JBC, though, I don't know if he's going to make the team. I think he's going to be a practice squad guy, if anything.
We've seen glimpses out of both of them, like last year. JBC's got to learn how to be healthy, though. That's the first thing for that kid. It seems like he shows out in training camp and in preseason, and as soon as the season starts, boom, he's injured. And it's like, never hear another thing about the kid after that, you know? He has got to learn how to stay healthy and continue his momentum into the season and start pushing for, you know, CB4 or whatever. But and then Stiggers, like he had a long hill to climb, you know, he didn't even play college football, you know what I mean? Like that's a long hill to climb, and I think he's got the right mindset. So I'm excited to see, you know, what we can get out of either of those guys, if not both. Hopefully both of them turn out to be, you know, good rock solid depth for us. We need another guy that can play just like a few snaps in a season, like, you know, like that 50 to 70 snaps in a season, and always picks off Tua for some reason, like how we had in what's his name, Eccles. Yeah, seemed like Eccles every time we put him in the game against Miami, he's picking Tua off. But
oh yeah,
we need a guy like that. Hopefully, one of those guys can do that.
I would hate for JBC to go because it would remind me, like you said, he's always hurt. You know who else was always hurt years ago for the Jets? Blake Cashman, who went off to have a great career with the freaking Texans and the Vikings now. Like, I could see him bouncing back, going to like the Bucks and becoming like this great player over there, or someone like that.
Yeah, and that's a good callback. Like, the thing is I think a lot of us as fans, like, that were deep in the trenches, like we tend to be. A lot of us saw it in Blake Cashman. We're like, hey, that kid might be all right when we saw him play. The problem is we never got to see the kid play because he was always injured. So when he did get dropped, we're all like, well, you know. And then sure enough, he starts staying healthy all of a sudden, and he's freaking killing it, getting Pro Bowls and shit with them, but whatever.
And he still missed some games. He only missed like 3 or 4 of them last year and still was one of the better linebackers in the league.
Yeah.
Ryan, I don't know how long we have you for. Do you have a little bit for some questions?
You have me for as long as you need me. I'm happy to stay. I'm free.
All right, cool.
At least I'm good.
You can ride with it.
Yeah, dude, for real. Like the chat's popping. They got some questions, not like recent, but I got some flagged here. I wanted to ask you. Some might be just reiterating it, so you don't have to go too deep into it. But Crispy wanted to know your thoughts on Brandon Smith again, making noise at camp, very unheralded. He says high upside, natural ball skills traits. At his size, ability to go up and get the ball, he can be a big time factor in the red zone. I think you agreed with this before, but do you want to just expand on what he said here?
The guy's going to compete for a wide receiver 2 position. He's been electric in training camp. Always open, a good red zone threat as well. If he can take what he's doing in training camp right now and use this in the preseason games and be electric in the preseason, he's gonna be on the field day one for the Jets during the regular season. The kid is doing very, very well and has been electrifying so far. So all of the people, all the hype that's going around this kid, if he can do it in the preseason games, this kid could be special.
Love it. Love it. Sticking with wide receiver, I mean, hell, it's a hot topic. Ricky has a comment here. He said, Corley is a compact, muscle-bound Mims. Mims, he says. All the physical tools, nothing mentally, and raw as hell. More project than weapon. Quite the damning statement from Ricky, New York. What do you think of that, Ryan?
The problem is the kid's still transferring. He was a running back beforehand. So the biggest thing, in my opinion, he's a gadget type of player. And if you want to run a gadget type of offense, use him like a Debo Samuel, where he goes in motion, gets handoffs around the edge and everything. Use him in the backfield and everything. Have him run routes out of the backfield. I think he'd be useful there. He can be like a Cordero Patterson type of player, moving from receiver back to running back, and have a decent career still. And shout out to Cordero Patterson. He's a free agent right now, but he got cut from the Steelers, which was an interesting call from them. But Malachi Corley, he's got so much potential. That's the thing. He's got so much toughness. He can block. He can do all these things. It's just not working out for him right now. And he needs to be that gadget type of player right now, because even when AG talked about him, it didn't sound confident when he was talking about him, being like, oh, from what I know about him from college was that he's a tough kid and stuff like that. So there's not much there. I don't even think he was looking at him from college when he was with Detroit.
You know, the struggle for me too with Corley is like he does nothing that we can't also get out of Brees Hall / Arian Smith.
Yeah.
Like Brees Hall should be catching our short to intermediate balls, our drag routes, whatever. Arian Smith, same thing. Jet sweeps, drag routes, quick slants, quick in cuts. So if you're gonna keep Corley, what does he do that really earns him the job? Like, is he just gonna be depth? Is he just gonna be sprinkled in? Is he gonna return? It doesn't sound like he's doing any of this yet. And he's got 1 month. So people say, oh, he's a lock. He's a third round pick. He was, but he's not a lock. He's done nothing. And he's also shown that he's not going to show anything. You got to start stacking days, and he hasn't. So how can you say he's a lock? How can you be high on him? How can you think he has a role when he can't even stack 2 days back to back?
And that's a great point. The biggest thing is he's not a lock because this regime didn't draft him. They don't care about these players. They care about the players. The ones they drafted, those are their guys. They showed Garrett Wilson and Sauce are their guys. Jamie and Sherwood, because they gave him the contract. Malachi Corley, if he doesn't step up, I don't think they'd feel anything about cutting him. I think there might be a team that would be willing to trade for him. But honestly, if he doesn't start showing more, the preseason games are going to be the biggest thing for him. If he can do all these things then and show that he belongs, then all right, maybe we'll have a conversation about him being on the team. But right now, he's on the outside looking in, because you have players like Jamal Pritchett and Quentin Skinner and all of these guys making these big plays. Donovan Edwards making these big plays, showing that they belong here. And Malachi Corley, it hasn't been working out. He makes some flashy plays. Like he made a nice one-handed catch in 7-on-7s the other day in practice. Whoop-de-doo. Do that against other players covering you and stuff like that in a game. And don't drop the ball on the damn 1 yard line before you cross the end zone.
Yeah. The thing about like the drafting of Corley, and I didn't really speak on this much last year because I think I was just in my head, I'm just trying to be optimistic, man, because I hate getting pessimistic, but I tend to do it sometimes, especially now that they broke my heart once again. Drafting those yak gadget type players like receivers, that doesn't go well a whole lot. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that teams should draft guys like that unless it's with one of them like throwaway 6th or 7th rounders. You know what I mean? Because those guys hardly ever work out in the NFL. Like even Cordero Patterson his career wasn't what it was supposed to be. You know what I mean? Like he's had some moments, but he hasn't been, like a first round talent or anything. I think when you're drafting, like you need to get something that's going to help you in the NFL, because like everybody's fast, everybody's good at breaking tackles or juking guys out. You know what I mean? Like you see that everywhere. You need to find somebody that's just got such clean route running, or is such a physical receiver that it's just impossible. Even when he's covered, he's always like still open. You know what I mean? Or something. He has to have like one of those type of traits. You get those gadget yak guys. Like I think they were chasing for the next Debo or something. Was it Saleh? Do you think it was Saleh? Just like, dude, I need me a Debo, and it's like, well, Debos are not common. You know what I mean? They don't just come every year. Like you don't find Debos out there, and also you get a Debo and he gets some mileage on him, and all of a sudden his body's breaking down and stuff. And we've seen that over the past couple of years. He's been dealing with some nagging stuff, and I think that his career is pretty close to being over. I think at this point, I don't want to damn the guy or anything because I like Debo, but I don't understand why they went third round. Third, fourth. Was it third or fourth? It was the end of the third, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I think.
They got him in the end of the third round, I believe. I think they traded back up for him.
Yeah,
I think he went 65th, I believe. Or chat, help us out. Help us out, chat.
I know they traded up for him, and they were like, "Oh, this is our guy," and then they didn't freaking use him.
Yeah. It's like, come on, guys, you got to get somebody that's a little more well-rounded, or somebody that's got like such a strong skill set, whether it's route running, if they're a super clean route runner, or they have impeccable hands or something like that. These guys that make their living off of yak, you don't even know if they can do that in the NFL, because it's a whole different beast from the NFL or from college to the NFL. So yeah, the whole, I'm rooting for Corley because I hope he does become the next D. But wouldn't that be so cool, like to have a guy like that on the team? We'd be so hyped every time he ran a dude over or something. But in reality, it was a bad move. It was just a bad move when we did it.
I think it was a panic move because they were running low. I think the draft, they were running low on the receivers that were on the top because more of them went on a run. And so Malachi Corley was one of the better ones left. And they're like, all right, him. And I think it was a panic move by Joe Douglas. I love Joe Douglas's picks. Honestly, I was very happy with him as an overall GM. I know he made some boneheaded picks every now and again.
Every GM does.
Exactly. No, nobody's going to hit 100%. I think Corley was a big reach, though. He was a project, and it was a project they weren't willing to work on.
Couple questions because the chat is spicy over the Corley topic. I got a couple to hit for you, but real quick, Ryan Boomtown chiming in. He loves playing him some devil's advocate. I love it too, and he has one for you. If Corley is not good enough to make this team, would other teams take a flyer on him? And if that happens, would that not be odd that in our weak wide receiver room he couldn't make it?
That's a great question, and I love your chat. They're just so nice. You guys have the best chat. The one I was on TikTok the other day in a comment video, somebody told me that they wish podcast equipment was much more money so that I wouldn't be able to share my opinions. I was like, damn, man, just because I thought the Jets O-line was one of the better ones in the NFL, damn. Anyway, great question. Definitely a team would take a chance on him, and it's interesting that you brought up Murph brought up Debo, because I think the Niners would take a chance on him being like that Debo type of player over there, because Kyle Shanahan can make anybody really work over there. Would it be odd that he would be gone, that he wouldn't make this team? I don't think so, just because it just shows how good the undrafted rookie receivers have been. And Jamal Pritchett, like I said, has been killing it in OTAs. Quentin Skinner has been good so far in these times. And if he can't beat out those guys, yeah, he's still young. Another team is going to take a chance on him. They always do. Hell, the Dolphins picked up Zach Wilson, thinking that he can still be a quality backup quarterback in the league. you're still going to pick up young players because you think that you can fix them or you can do things for them. I don't think it's a blemish on the Jets receiver room. Yeah, they might be a weak spot, but it just goes to show how well the other guys in the room have been doing. And he might not be a good fit for the Jets team.
Do you try to shop him, or do you just say, fuck it, we're just clean page, we're over it?
You could try to shop him and get what you can. I think he'd get you like a 5th round pick, maybe a 6th round. I don't think he's going to get you much. Honestly, if you can get any picks for him, I would. I don't think a team's going to bite, though, because they know if you're shopping him now, you're most likely going to cut him. So they'll just wait for you to cut him.
Yeah, you're right. Like, if they're just trying to get like first dibs on him, then you might not even get a 5th, you know. But Boomtown says it does feel like such an odd situation. And Boomtown said this a couple months ago. He was convinced Corley just wasn't smart enough to understand a playbook, where in college, a lot of it was off the cuff. And he might be onto something, man. I'm not ready to say that yet because like he's just had so many setbacks, whether it be maturity or injury or just like I don't know. Just give me like I want to see you all of August every day grinding. If you still are not able to do it, then yeah, I might be in the same boat. But let me ask you this. Let's see. There was a couple other things. Well, yeah, for one, phenomenal guest tonight, I'm being told.
Thank you, Chris B. He always pops in on my live streams too. He's awesome. I love him. He's such a good guy. Sean as well. Thank you so much. Facts. I appreciate you too, buddy.
While Wave really wants us to get to this one, he asks you, and it's more your opinion, but do the DBs play the quarterback? Or are they still playing the receivers?
I think it's going to be more of playing the quarterback. I still think we're going to have Sauce Gardner on the best receiver. He's going to move. And our number 2 cornerback on the second best one. But I think we are going to have more of an aggressive type of defense. You're going to have Quincy blitzing more. Sherman and Sherwood blitzing more. You're going to have more blitzes, so you want to have your cornerbacks have their eye on the quarterback too, just in case they let it rip quick to get more of those turnovers. Because what's been one of the biggest issues on this team? Turnovers. And that's what AG has been preaching and Wilkes has been preaching. We want to get turnovers. So we're going to be fast, aggressive, and yeah, we're going to keep an eye. I think the DBs are going to keep an eye on that quarterback to try to get these turnovers, to be more of an aggressive defense.
Let me ask you, and I think this is where he's going with it. I haven't checked the chat just now, but like, Sauce had a propensity for not even turning his head. He would just play the receiver's hands and wait for their reaction. Mm-hmm. Then he would, you know what I mean? So that would tell me if he's still doing that, he's playing the receiver. Whereas if he's turning and watching the ball or even watching the quarterback, that is different. Did you notice any difference there, or is it pretty much DBs playing the way they know how to play?
It's a kind of a mixture of both, honestly, because all the DBs are getting their heads around before the ball gets there, and there's more pass breakups and everything. This defense has been electrifying, and they're playing the ball. So I think it's a mixture of both. On the first 5 yards, they're running with the receivers and everything. It's based on instinct. So they're doing what they know how to do, and then what they're coached to do, turn their head around. Brandon Stevens is doing a lot better on coverage. Yeah, he's getting beat by Garrett Wilson every now and again, but if you see in the clips that they're showing, he's got him locked down. Garrett Wilson's just an elite receiver. He's getting up high for the ball, and Brandon Stevens has great coverage on him. There's nothing he can do, but they're doing what they're coached, so I would say it's a mixture of both.
Good. I like that. I like it because it's not just one tunnel vision like last year. Back to the Corley discussion. I just wanted to highlight Scott's comment here. He said Corpsely, and then a moment later, he thought of another one.
Love
it. Just some last minute ones on Corley. Scott, you got me wanting to say Corpsely. While Wave, he said, only Javon Baker, Corley, and a kid from Michigan that went to Pittsburgh. I'm not sure what that was in reference to be honest. But Jake,
Rome
Yeah.
Wilson.
Roman
might be
Wilson,
talking-
yeah.
He's going to be their
Okay.
number 2 receiver.
Don't they have Calvin Austin as well?
They have Calvin Austin. They have Roman Wilson, who I think could be a potential trade or a cut from them. Calvin Austin, I think, is going to be very good. I like what they have in him. I think he's more of a slot receiver, not a good number 2 receiver, but he's a shifty weapon, and it's going to be interesting to see what Rodgers does with him.
I like that. And let's see. Sean chimes in. I don't know if you probably saw the Treylon Burks news this week.
I did.
Yeah, he said he was supposed to be the next Debo. So I don't know how many guys were supposed to, but it looks like none of them have been.
Man, and this is going to be a wild take. I still think Treylon Burks has some potential. He's only 26, and he would be an interesting. I know Murph shaking his head no, but to be fair, he's only 26. He's still got potential. The problem with him has been injuries. He can't stay healthy, and if he can stay healthy, he proved at Arkansas that he can get open and be a tough receiver. I see him more if he can stay healthy and be that physical receiver that he was in Arkansas. I could see him being like a Nunwa type of receiver, being that physical guy, possession type of guy. I know Murph say no. I doubt the Jets go for him,
He's
but don't be shocked.
soft.
Soft. Don't be shocked if a team like Dallas goes for him as a third receiver, like somebody that they would like to get.
Somebody's going to pick him up for sure.
Oh, someone's going to pick him up. He's still a young.
That draft pedigree will get you a job for at least 8 years. I mean, no matter what you show.
There's another receiver, an undrafted rookie, who's still out there that I think, if all his legal allegations are gone and he's not guilty, Isaiah Bond from Texas, he's still out there as well, who I think could be an electrifying athlete. He's got a lot of things going on, but it's looking more like that he's not going to be found guilty for any of it back in college with issues with a woman. But I keep mentioning him on my show as a potential target as a free agent because the kid's got a lot of talent too. So that's another interesting receiver target that you can think about.
Ricky, I am with you. There's one good Malachi on this team, and it's not Corley. But I mean, I have not seen that room in totality live in person or in a game. I do want to see a couple weeks because you would think all these guys are going to get the bulk of snaps. And whether it's Terod or whether it's Justin or whether it's Martinez, I don't care. I want to see them before I say for sure. But yeah, he's on thin ice with me. And I don't like burning draft capital. To me, that would be burnt. So I'm going to wait, but I'm not going to wait long. I'll say that.
There's a shout out to another player that's been popping off too in practice. What's his name? The quarterback we just got as an undrafted rookie.
Cook.
Yes. He has an electric arm. He's very strong arm, put some zip on the ball. Very accurate too. He needs to work on his footwork a little bit, but he's been showing a lot too. So watch out for him.
We were talking about really bad receivers a little bit ago with Treylon Burks and stuff. So I just wanted to ask you guys, have you guys seen the clips of Quentin Johnston and camp and practice? Just like basic ass wide receiver drills, just dropping balls to it that are right at his chest or just right here. He looks so bad, man. His hands are horrible.
You talk to Chargers fans, they're expecting a breakout season for him, man.
Oh,
and
I
said
we
he
haven't
could be
seen
a
those
trade
clips,
candidate.
man.
I had a bold take that he could be traded or cut from them because I've seen the clips where he gets wide open, beautiful ball from Herbert, claps at it and drops it.
Yeah, fly.
It's like what the hell?
There's not a. I mean, come on. They forced a reunion with Mike Williams. That didn't work. Now they're forcing a reunion with Keenan Allen. I don't think that speaks highly of Quentin Johnson. I don't know.
It's that poor kid too, because he came out with a lot of talent too.
Yeah. I actually was kind of high on him too, and I'm kind of embarrassed to say so. He's like the anti Larry Fitzgerald out there, which is not a good thing. Not what you want to be.
Oh God, no. Sean brings up another cool wide receiver candidate, Henry Ruggs. That's an interesting one. I know he wants to have an NFL comeback. I know he's still practicing in jail right now and everything, but he could be. He was a speed demon too. He beat the Jets when we full out blitzed against the Raiders the one year. Good old Adam Gase era.
Yeah, I heard he's been catching a lot of balls in jail, so hopefully that worked out for him.
Oh man,
I had to go there, guys. Sorry.
I love it. Awesome.
Yeah, when I was talking about it earlier, I completely blanked out on Stevens. Dane brought him up in here.
Did Stevens play well enough while you were there to keep the CB2 role? He's been playing good. AZ Thomas has just been electric too, though. It's very close between the two. I'm gonna give it right now. I'll give it to Stevens to start the first preseason game. But if AZ Thomas keeps showing out and does really well in preseason, I would think AZ Thomas wins the role. Because I think with this coaching staff, it doesn't matter how much they paid you in free agency. If you're not doing your job, the AG is going to play the best players. It's not going to be like, oh, you're my favorite player, even though you suck. You're going to be out there, Michael Clemens. So I think I think AZ Thomas will eventually get the starting job, but Brandon Stevens might start out with it.
Yeah, I mean, optimally, that's what happens, right? I don't know. I gotta see it in a game from AZ Thomas for me to be there. Chris B brought up Adam Thielen. That would be a great guy to have, but I don't even know if he's available. I'll just try to look it up real quick.
He is on the Panthers still.
Yes, and he actually had a good year for him last year.
I don't think he's available because I think they like their receiving with Tet McMillan, Thielen, and Renfro.
Yeah.
Watch out.
Yeah, dude, Renfro. I'm calling a comeback for Renfro. I don't understand what happened with him, why he just I don't know. I don't
He was
get
with the
it.
Raiders.
But the
That's
dude
what happens.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. The dude's a route runner, man.
Oh
and
yeah.
That's longevity to me. Like in the NFL, and that's what you see with Adam Thielen too. Like he's older, man, but he's still producing because he runs pretty crisp routes, and that can elongate your career in the NFL. You may lose your speed and stuff, but if you can still cut on a dime and still run routes and get good chemistry with your quarterback and be in the right spot at the right time every time, that's going to get you balls, man. That's going to get you catches, and not the type of ones that Ruggs is getting right now. But yeah, and don't forget about Leggett too. They do have Leggett.
I was just about to bring it up that I think the Jets should inquire about trading for him because I love Leggett, and it just shows they drafted Tet McMillan. He has the same skill set as Xavier Leggett. I think they gave up on Leggett, and that's why they took Tet, because why would you draft another receiver who does the same thing as the receiver you drafted the year before? I know Leggett had some bad drops last year and stuff, but the kid's electric. He can block. He's got good speed for his size. He's a tough runner with the football. I've been all off season talking about him being a possible trade candidate, and I think the Jets could look into contacting the Panthers and seeing what they can get, because I don't think it would be that much. He's somebody that I really like.
Yeah, and he's had some moments too. I mean, I'm not super plugged in with Panthers, what goes on over there or whatever, but just some of the things I've seen come across my feeds and things like that. I've seen some things out of him just in practices and camps and even a couple things in games where I'm like, hey, the kid's got, he's got some potential. So I wouldn't be upset with that. I don't think it would cost a whole lot. So that's right now what we're looking at is we don't want to give up too much draft capital because next year we might be drafting a quarterback.
Yeah.
So, if you give up like a fourth or a fifth, maybe that's fine. But like, we're not touching firsts and seconds because we're probably going to need them.
Yeah, because we don't even have a third next year either because we traded that So that's a big issue.
And a lot of people think that we're going to be, kind of a spicy team, like a little competitive team under Aaron Glenn. So if we squeak out 7 or 8 wins, then we got to trade up.
Yeah.
So we need to keep those firsts and seconds if we're going to have to trade up.
Even depending on where we are, we could always trade back and acquire more picks too, because I think next year is going to be a loaded draft. When with the quarterbacks, the big quarterbacks that you're going to be looking for are like Lenore Sellers and Arch Manning. I don't think they're coming out this year. I think they're going to stay another year in college. So you're going to be looking at
out. I hope they all come out at the same year. There's like 8 of them in the first round, and we're picking like 18th or something, and we still get like the 5th one or something,
like a club nick or something like that. As long as we don't get the quarterback that went from Georgia to Miami, I don't think he's very good.
God, no. Oh no, I want nothing to do with him.
Yeah, but if anything, I think
face.
Aller or bust, baby. Aller or bust.
I love Drew Aller. He's going to be good this year. It's going to be interesting to see what he does without Warren this year, because the receivers that Penn State has aren't the best. So he's going to have to do a lot with very little this year. So it's going to be very interesting. But if he's there for the Jets, and let's say Fields does okay, but doesn't give you confidence for the future, you want him for one more year, Drew Aller is the guy. If he came out this year, I would have wanted him.
I love quarterbacks that come from like heavy pro style offenses in college and stuff like that, and they run a lot of play action, things like that, and I feel like Penn State does a lot of that stuff. So I think they're grooming him pretty well, and it probably was a smart move for him to stay another year. I think too.
Mm-hmm. He's going to be good. I think he's going to be very good. I think Lenore Sellers is going to come out and be a monster. I think Arch Manning's going to do okay. I don't think he's going to be like amazing. And that might be a hot take right now, but I don't think he's going to be as elite as everybody's thinking he's going to be.
I'd just like to respond to Scott's comment here. He says we are desperate for a receiver, and I would like to push back on that, because like I'm coming at an angle of like, if you can improve the team. But at the same time, in the back of my head, I'm really thinking like, we're not going to pass it that much. I mean, we're not going to pass it like we did last year. Can they like top 3? And Ricky New York had it for me as well, is Garrett. I think they go Reynolds and Tyler Johnson just for the seasoning of those 3. And then they sprinkle in Arian Smith as needed, or situationally you need a home run, or he earns it. But like top 3, I think the safest way to go are the 3 I named. They can all run block. You got Mason Taylor, you got Brees taking targets off of them. You got Braylon and Isaiah Davis taking targets off of them. You got Justin Fields just running it, taking targets off of them. I don't think we need to go and acquire a wide receiver 3 or a wide receiver 2 like many do. Many think we need that. I don't. So I will push back a little bit, Scott. If that's what you meant, that we're desperate, we need a wide receiver, I disagree. I'm not. I don't know. You guys, what do you think there?
I think receiver is a need, but it's not as big a need as everybody thinks. I think Arian Smith is going to be fine. I think Jamal Pritchett can come out and be very good. Josh Reynolds is serviceable as a veteran wide receiver on this team as a number 2 option, and he's been looking decent in practice. Tyler Johnson is very underrated. I think he didn't get the amount of touches in with the Rams as he should have. So we have weapons, but honestly, like you said, we're going to run the ball more. If anything, the 3 leading receivers on this team, the 3 lead people who are going to have the most receptions are going to be Garrett Wilson, Mason Taylor, and probably Breece Hall. That's how it's going to go, because we're going to run the ball. Justin Fields is going to run. Breece Hall, Allen are going to go off. Isaiah Davis is going to get his touches. I think we're going to be more of a ground and pound team.
That's all fine in theory, but like if everybody knows you're going to try to run on them, like they're going to game plan for that. I think that we are a little desperate, maybe not full blown, like in the red on the meter desperate, but I think we are a little desperate for another receiver because I just don't know. I'm hopeful for Arian Smith. I think he has the talent. I don't, we got to see it. It's just like with
Yeah.
AZ Thomas. Like, I got to see it and I can't bank on it. And then
Right.
Reynolds, he's got some age to him and stuff like that. I did like the pickup, but I don't know if that's a guy that can consistently get open whenever Garrett's being double teamed and Mason Taylor. Either we're not running a package with him in it, or I don't know. Maybe he's banged up for a couple weeks. Or dude, if I don't knocking on wood here, like God forbid Mason Taylor gets injured, because that really fucks things up in the passing game too. Because then it's just Garrett and Brees. Like, that's so easy for a
Back to what we've been
defense
doing.
plan for. Like, so that's what I'm saying is, like, I don't know that we got a guy that we know can consistently get open whenever Garrett's being double teamed, and we need that big 3rd and 8 play, like something, a hook over the middle or something to get that first down, or a medium-sized out or something, whatever it may be. I don't know, but I'm just saying, I think we are a little desperate for that, and it's something that worries me. It's one of the biggest worries I have on this, aside from the fact that I'm scared to death Justin Fields is going to be booty cheeks, or, or at least have like one cheek, because that's still not good enough. I'm gonna need no cheeks from our quarterback, and we haven't seen that out of a quarterback for the Jets. I mean, even Aaron Rodgers last year was at least half a cheek. But yeah, so I don't know. Yeah, I think we're a little desperate, but not full blown.
We're gonna need to bank, and like you said, knocking on wood, we're gonna need to bank on a lot of these guys stepping up, like a Brandon Smith, an Arian Smith, Tyler Johnson having a breakout season, Lazard possibly staying healthy and being able to catch a football. So there's a lot of stuff that we have to have go right this year. And it's nerve-wracking as a Jets fan, because when you need stuff to go right, most of the time it doesn't. Everybody was in panic when Justin Fields went off the field the other day with a dislocated toe. We thought it was the end of the world that he was going to be out for so long.
It's like
think about it. Think about like Edge last year. Like, we had a contract dispute, couldn't even get the big name guy that we wanted in here. First game of the fucking season, our stud and JJ goes down for the rest of the season. I mean, as a Jets fan, that's the type of shit we go through. Go ahead, Dane. Sorry, bud.
I was just gonna say, like, it reminds me of when Rodgers had a blister on the back of his ankle, and we all died that day because we thought he tore his Achilles a second time. But you know what? You made some excellent points, Ryan. You spoke about players stepping up. The only thing in the back of my mind I was thinking when you were saying that, and everything you said was true, but also, like, if they don't step up, maybe Angstran is just him. Like, maybe he schemes guys open. Maybe he's a little Mike LaFleur, 2.0, and Fields' mobility in the pocket or our pass rush, extending plays, just allows the speed to just manifest. And you got Arian Smith all of a sudden down 50 yards downfield, wide open. Or what I want is to be extending plays, and Fields just looks in the middle of the field, and Mason Taylor is just turned around in the middle, just sitting there waiting for the ball. That's what I need Mason Taylor to do. Find a hole in the zone, turn around, sit. Conklin, for whatever, he tried that, but like, we didn't have the time that I think we'll have this year, hopefully. But also, like, we also have creativity in the offense, hopefully. If we have creative play calling and solid pass blocking, two things we did not have last year, I think it necessitates the need for a playmaker opposite Garrett. Am I crazy?
I don't think so. I think you can never go wrong with a legit number 2 receiver. That's why everybody's going crazy for trying to trade for Terry McLaurin, or when we were talking about Chris Olave, trying to trade for him, or any of these big name receivers that come up that might want out of their teams. It's never crazy to want better for your team. The problem is we don't know what Tanner Engstrand is. He could be like a McVay type of offensive coordinator where he schemes people open and makes, like you said, Arian Smith look like Deshaun Jackson reincarnate and stuff like that. We don't know. Mason Taylor could be a monster this year and have a better season than what Brock Bowers had. We don't know. That's the biggest thing. This team is an unknown. AG is an unknown. I'm talking about all the great things he's doing at practices and everything, and training camp is going well right now. But we can get to the regular season, and it could be worse than Saleh and worse than Gase. We don't know. I don't think it's going to happen. But the one bright thing that I will say is the way training camp is being run and how our offense has been running. Yeah, it's not perfect yet. It's a brand new scheme and stuff like that. And things are working pretty well. And Tanner Engstrand looks like he's a competent OC at the moment. Looks like he knows what he's doing. Hell, it could be worse. You could be the Chicago Bears right now where they're looking like a JV team where Caleb Williams looks like a disaster. Ben Johnson is kicking the starting offense off the field and reaming out Luther Burden and stuff like that.
The thing, I'm just going to point out an example. You have an excellent offensive mind, excellent play caller over there in Minnesota, right? Yeah. I don't think anybody is doubting that.
Oh, no.
Right? And they have an excellent wide receiver one, right? Arguably the best in the league. And Jordan, or no, not Jordan.
Jefferson.
Anyway, Justin Jefferson. What did they do? They went and drafted Jordan Addison. You know what I mean? You got to have another guy that you can rely on. And if Mason Taylor stays healthy and Mason Taylor ends up cooking, maybe he could be our guy. And then, some stuff to Brees and then just, spread everything else around. But we're really banking on, we just need somebody to step up is a big thing. If we're going to roll the way we are now, we have to have somebody step up, whether it's Arian Smith, Mason Taylor, even Stone Smart. Somebody has got to step up to relieve Garrett a little bit, because as of right now, teams are looking at us and they're like, well, we're going to play heavy against the run and we're going to double Garrett and beat us otherwise.
So, I don't think the Jets are done making moves. Just, it's a gut feeling. I think the Jets might make another move at the receiver position. And some of the names that I see floating around in the news and stuff like that, like a Romeo Dobbs, probably. I think he could be very good. Or another guy on their team, Christian Watson, I think would be a fun one as well, because I know they have a loaded receiver room over there. I don't think the Jets are done at the receiver room at this point or looking for another weapon. I think there's another move that's going to happen. And still, we're in the early part of training camp too. There are going to be shocking names of players cut. So there's going to be big name receivers that could possibly be out of a team. And going off of what Murph said too, you do need another solid number two. Look at the Bengals with T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. And look what they did too. They had Mike Gesicki as a solid tight end. They signed Noah Fant to give Burrow more weapons. So you could always use a number two receiver, a solid number two. That's why I have a lot of issues with what the Raiders are doing when you have Jacoby Myers as a number one. I don't think he's a solid number one receiver. I think he's a high-end number two. I would love him as my second best receiver. Same thing with Juwan Jennings from San Fran. I think he's a high-end number two and not a number one. And even Brandon Ayuk at this point, he's always hurt. You can't trust it. You need somebody who's going to be here to be that complement to Garrett Wilson. Devontae Adams was supposed to be that, but we just force-fed him the ball and everything. And Garrett Wilson pissed off.
And someone that doesn't need paid. Like every solution that we hear is you have to spend assets to get him and then pay him. And I don't know the long-term books. I just know that I want to keep Jermaine. I want to keep AVT. Simpson is 50-50 for me, depending on if we draft a guy to replace him. But then you have, other things down the line where it's like Will McDonald and, Fashanu, who we haven't even talked about tonight, which I heard is just killing it in camp.
Oh, he's been electric. He's been a stud on the offensive line.
So, I don't know. Like, I would love a wide receiver too, but I need one on a rookie contract. I do. Unless you can like trade for maybe like Jacoby Myers. I love Jacoby Myers, but like he's not 30 million a year, but he could fill a role. Like a medium move is what I'm trying to
Here,
say.
here's the thing. I don't know that we have a wide receiver on the roster that's worthy of being a number 3 on a good team. Is kind of where I'm getting at. I'm not saying you got to have another stud, but like I feel like you'd be doing Justin Fields some service if you got him at least another solid receiver who would probably end up being our number 2. Like I was because I brought up I was looking up the Vikings roster again because I keep going blank on names tonight. But it brought up a guy. I saw a guy on there, and I'm like, you know what? Like, maybe you could trade for him, and that's Naylor. I think that he's like probably wide receiver 3 for them. I think Naylor would be an awesome trade option if the Vikings are like, because they also have they got a couple other guys on there too that are actually pretty solid. That roster's loaded, man. Maybe you could trade for Naylor and he could be an impact guy on the team. He's shown it with them, you know. I don't know. Just somebody like that, like somebody that, you know, like maybe he's like a wide receiver 3 on another team, but they're just absolutely loaded so they can afford to get rid of him for like a 5th or a 6th. I wouldn't be mad at something like that.
I think adding another receiver is you want to help Justin Fields succeed, and that's what they're preaching. They want to have him succeed and be able to play quarterback comfortably. I think you do need to add another receiver at some point. Like Josh Reynolds is nice, and it's looking like he's playing real well in training camp and everything, but he's like Alan Lazard, in my opinion, where he deals with injuries a lot, and that's the problem. He can't stay healthy. He dealt with injuries last year when he was with the Broncos, so there's issues there. Alan Lazard, can you trust him? I think Alan Lazard might get traded at some point. So, and if he does get traded, then that might leave a spot for Malachi Corley on this team. So there's so many different things the Jets can do. We have weapons in Garrett Wilson and Mason Taylor and Breece Hall and Braylon Allen. That's great. But I think adding another solid number 2 receiver, or even like I've been preaching this whole offseason about trying to get Kyle Pitts. I think he could be a great receiving type of threat for the Jets as well. I don't know how much it would cost you, and it already seems like the Falcons aren't interested in re-signing him. He's on a 1-year deal, or he's last year of his deal. I get you might have to pay him a little bit at the end of the season if he performs, but I don't think he's going to cost you very much at all, and it doesn't seem like the Falcons really want him.
Yeah, the Falcons are weird, man. It's like they've drafted some really talented players, and they just haven't used them right over the years, like Kyle Pitts and stuff like that. Like, I know that dude is talented.
Mm-hmm.
I know he can be successful. They're just not using him right, especially whenever Arthur Smith was there. My God.
Oh, but awful.
That's the thing. We need a GM that's going to come in here and he's going to look at, not only is he going to be looking at, you know, talking to his scouts and being active in the draft process and things like that and finding like diamonds in the rough and things like that, but also like how Joe Douglas did with JFM and other guys like Quincy, you know, finding those we need Muji to be like that too, and finding those diamonds in the rough type of guys, like guys that are just talented and they're just not being used right, or they're just being underutilized or not given enough snaps, whatever it is. Like we need something like that, and hopefully we need to find something at receiver.
That could be Tyler Johnson. That could be.
It could be. I do like Tyler Johnson, but
I do too.
I'm not betting my paycheck on him. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's a big wait and see type of period. Like we can get all excited about these guys, but we need to wait and see what they could actually do. That's the biggest thing right now.
Absolutely. Yeah. So it sounds like you're really high on this offensive line. Like everything that you said that you've seen in camp and stuff like that. You want to give me, like, this is an early as hell prediction. What do you think? How high are we going? Are we going top 12 O-line this year? We're going to go top 10, top 8, 5?
I think we're going to be much better than a lot of people think. I think we're the best offensive line in the East. I will go for that. I also think the Jets will be a top 8 offensive line. If everything stays healthy, we have a great we have a great swing tackle in Okorafor, who I think can play a solid right tackle because he performed well in Pittsburgh when he was there. But I honestly love this offensive line. If we stay healthy, AVT and Simpson, like I said, are the best guard duo in the league. Olu Fashanu, if he stays healthy, is going to be a fantastic left tackle. He's been looking great in practice. Armand Membu has been solid so far. And Joe Tippmann has been having some beautiful snaps, has been a mauler in the run game, and getting better in the pass game. So honestly, this can be a top 8 offensive line.
Top 8. I love it. And we're going to need it. If we're going to be a run-heavy team and we're going to be relying on Justin Fields to make it through his reads and stuff, we need that.
I think this offensive line is going to be special. And that's why I say to pay AVT early and then get John Simpson signed too. I'd rather have a sturdy offensive line than paying a running back. Like, I love Breece Hall. I do. And I think he could be very good. But I think you need a more stable offensive line to be a contending team. And I get you can bring up the Chiefs, but they have an all-worldly quarterback in Patrick Mahomes. And look how they did. And look how they did in the Super Bowl.
They had an excellent line up until last year. Last year they had some issues. I don't know what happened there, but the prior years they had an excellent offensive line.
Yeah. And their offensive line last year in the Super Bowl was exploited. Patrick Mahomes was destroyed in that
All
game.
right, let me in here. Jeez, guys. I got to get to the chat. I do. And you guys had great nuggets. I got to get to the big fella's comment, and I got to ask you guys, if you could, and I'm not saying you can, but if you could get McLaurin, Scary Terry in Gotham for a measly Lazard and a second rounder, do you do it knowing that you only then next year have one pick, the first, 120 picks?
If it's going to take Lazard in a second, do it in a heartbeat, because you could trade that first round back and get more picks
Dude, so you don't need a QB next year?
You can still, if with the amount of quarterbacks that are coming out, if Justin Fields flops, then you can trade back the first round pick and still get a suitable quarterback in the first round that's going to be solid for you. But I honestly think Justin Fields is going to be perfectly fine and we won't have to worry about it. So you trade back that first round pick, you pick up another second, maybe another fourth, and things like that, get a future first round pick, and then you're telling me you get Terry McLaurin, you get Alan Lazard out of here, you get Terry McLaurin, yeah, you're going to have to pay him, but you do have the money. You can allocate other resources by having some players take a pay cut. You can trade Breece later down the road as well, or franchise tag him, do something. If you can get Terry McLaurin, you have a 1A and a 1B. If that's all it's going to take is Lazard in a second, then yeah. Is it going to take that? No, it's not going to take that.
All right. Well, that's a whole nother show. But Murph, I want to hear from you. The big fella says he thinks this will get it done. What say you?
Well, giving up Lazard in a second feels to me like giving up a fourth.
Yeah.
That's the value there. That's like giving up a fourth. And I'm down for giving up a fourth for Terry McLaurin. I'm just saying. So, yeah, I'll do that in a second. The big issue with Terry McLaurin, like, we can't overlook it, and Ricky's brought it up once or twice in the chat. Like, it's money, right? McLaurin's he's gonna cost a lot of money, right? Like, we pay Garrett a lot of money. McLaurin's been doing what Garrett's been doing, but for longer and more consistently, and with like 30 different quarterbacks. Actually, their career trajectory looks very similar at this point. He's going to want it paid, and he's going to get paid what Garrett got paid or more. And I don't know that we can do that.
I mean, he's making 25 this year and unhappy.
Exactly. He wants that 30, 35. So
Who knows? Maybe he comes over and is like, hey, I get to play with my college quarterback again, who I really liked. Maybe I'll take a discount. I don't know. Give him $30 million and he'll be happy.
We're going to be the
don't
Ohio
think he
State
wants to be there.
Jets.
Huh?
We're going to be the Ohio State Jets.
Hey, if the Eagles can
Yeah.
become the freaking Philadelphia Bulldogs,
Yeah.
then we can become the Ohio State Jets. I'll do that.
You know what? That's a great point. You mentioned Philly. Like, if we're playing Philly, oh man, we could really use a wide receiver too. Yeah, but we're not playing Philly. So, anyways,
We could use a quarterback.
Ricky chimes in. Another good thing here. Good setup. He says, "What if Tyler Johnson, Stone Smart, and Arian Smith all perform really well, and Glenn hit on?" And he's giving credit to Glenn. Glenn hit on multiple under the radar guys that he gets the most out of. I want to know, like, A, likelihood, but B, pry into that credit. Where does credit go there if that happens? And then C, like, I don't know, likelihood, that might be the same as A, but the likelihood that that happens.
I honestly think a lot of credit would go to AG because these players were players that when we drafted Arian Smith, what was the one thing that everybody said? They hated it because he can't catch the ball. If he can get the best out of Arian Smith, that shows that him and Muji hit on a really good player. They believed in him and they coached him up to be able to perform at a high caliber. Same thing with Stone Smart and Tyler Johnson. The Chargers were happy to let Stone Smart go. The Rams had no intent on re-signing Tyler Johnson. If Glenn can get the best out of these guys, that's all coaching. And what is the biggest issue with the Jets? It was coaching. We had great players that weren't getting the best out of them because of awful coaching. So I think AG will get a lot of credit if he can get the best out of these guys. If he can turn Tyler Johnson into a legit number 2 receiver, Arian Smith into a legit receiver weapon, and Stone Smart into a great number 2 tight end, I would give him a lot of credit, and I would also give Engstrand a lot of credit for these guys as well, because it shows that his system that he's implementing is working.
Hey, that's an excellent point. And that's what, that's what we need. We need two things. We need our quarterback to work. We need our OC to work. And that's kind of a hand-in-hand type thing, too. Like, they have to work together, and one can help the other, and the other can help. You know what I mean? But if you have a good OC in there, you can get the best out of what you have. And so we could, if Tanner Engstrand's that dude, we could see something out of all three of those guys for sure. That doesn't mean they're that guy. That means our OC is that guy, but it's hard to tell, though, is the problem. It's hard to tell, like, you know what I mean? Because you see all these guys, like, in, like, Minnesota and stuff, they're hitting off, like, Naylor and all these other guys, like, they're having 200-yard games randomly and stuff. You're like, my God. And it's like, well, wait a second. Is it just the OC? Like, is it the coach over there that's the reason for all this, or are they just really good draft evaluators? I don't know. The thing is I really wanted to point out, Ricky said, and Glenn hit on multiple, like, he is not giving Muji any credit there. I understand with Glenn's personality, and it really feels like he's that guy, like he's the dude making but it's a lot on a coach just to do his duties as it is. For him to be the one making all the moves too, that's, and I cannot stand Bill Belichick at all, but you got to give the guy credit. If he was doing all that, all the evaluating and everything else too. I mean, obviously you got scouts and stuff, but that's a lot of work for one person to do. I think that Muji and Glenn are working hand in hand on this stuff.
I do too.
I just kind of wanted to point out that Ricky is all in on it being Glenn, and it could be, but I don't think so.
Have you guys met an OG Jet fan that is not all in on Glenn, though? Because, like, I saw the tail end of Glenn, and dude, I have to dial it back so hard. So, like, I feel like anyone older than me that saw Glenn's whole career in Gangrene is, like, all in, all the fuck in. And I hope they're not crushed in the end. I hope I'm not crushed in the end, and you guys too. But like the people that are just, yeah, I don't know.
Like
Well,
my father's a OG fan who saw Glenn's whole career. He was not in on him being the head coach. He wanted Pete Carroll. He wanted somebody who had a lot of experience coming in. And I was the same way. I wanted Brian Flores as the head coach originally. And then we hired Glenn, and I was like, all right, he was my second choice. I'm happy. But my dad, until training camp the other day, was still like, I don't know. It's a new coach. It's the same old Jets thing. They're hiring a new guy, new GM. And then when he saw AG coach at training camp and saw him moving around, doing all these things like an organized, efficient team, my dad was like, all right, I'm all in on this guy. I loved him as a cornerback for the Jets. Was unsure about him as a coach, but I'm happy the Jets made this move. He turned right around after watching the guy work.
You mentioned that whole same old Jets type thing, and the thing that felt so like same old Jets about the Glenn hire is because when we get really down on the team, it seems like every time we do, they do something like make a big splash move, like Le'Veon Bell or something. You know what I mean? Like they do something really big that something that will draw the fan base in to get them their hope back up. That's what felt same old Jets about that to me. But it is. I mean, that's a guy that's in all of our hearts, right? I mean, anybody that's watched him play even just for 1 year or something, we all love some Aaron Glenn, and we love what he's bringing to the team, the mentality and stuff. So it's hard not to be excited about it. But like, I'm just worried that he's not going to have enough of a chance. Like, I hope the fan base doesn't turn on him after a year or two. Like, I think that he's in a situation right now, like he doesn't necessarily know that he's got a quarterback. Give him some time to get this team the way it needs to be for him to do his thing. That's what I'm worried about.
I think the thing with AG though is it's different than a lot of the coaches that we've brought in. He was a player here. He's one of us. It's the same thing what happened in Detroit. They were going through coach after coach after coach, and then they finally found Dan Campbell, who was a player there. He understands what the Detroit Lions fans needed. Yeah, it started off rocky for him, but the fans never gave up on him. And I think those fans have dealt with a hell of a lot more than us Jets fans have in their career and stuff like that. They have been through the ringer. And now they have Dan Campbell, who was a player, who understands Detroit. Aaron Glenn was a player here. He understands what it is to be a New York Jet, understands the fans, understands how to handle the media, to put Rich Cimini in his place and everything like that. And he was a player too. He understands what it's like to go out on that field and give everything you need. And two, it doesn't help too. He was a scout too. So he understands player development and what to see in a player too. The biggest thing is going to be the offensive side of the ball. I love the Wilkes signing on the defense, getting that veteran coach there. I thought we needed it on the offensive side. That's why I wanted Doug Peterson as our offensive coordinator at one point. But AG believes in Engstrand. And even though Engstrand has never called plays in the NFL, he has called it in other areas. So on different situations. So we got to let it roll. I love the Chris Bangio hire on the special teams. I think he's going to be very, very good as a special teams coordinator. So I'm excited. And the one thing, too, that I'll give AG credit for, too, and one of the biggest things that this team hasn't done for years, we brought referees back to training camp as well, which has been very important because that helps bring down penalties in a game, because then we can go through those situations. Oh, Jeremy Rucker, you went offside or false start? Off, you're on the bench, so smart, get in. It holds players accountable. It's not just this leisure activity going to training camp anymore. You're going there and working. You're fighting for a position. And that's what I think a lot of these players who have been coming out and saying that it's different, it's new, because this is the first time that they're being coached the right way in the NFL, which is great for a player like Garrett Wilson, like a Sauce Gardner. Quinnen Williams is saying the same thing. I think that's going to want endear players to want to come here as well, because they see what's going on. They hear these players talking about AG. It's going to make the players in free agency later down the road want to come here, especially if we start winning.
Yeah, go 500 and that'll go a long way. If you get 5 wins again, you're probably not recruiting anyone even if the culture is great. But if you go 500 and our surveys look good because of our new locker room and Fields looks semi decent, and then all of a sudden there's a hole at RB1 and wide receiver 2. Yeah, you might be able to get some guys. But the only thing I would like to say is, like Ricky said it earlier, I believe, extend Simpson, extend AVT, extend Jermaine Johnson, extend everybody, and you're eating the bulk of Rodgers dead next year. So, like, how big of players will we be in free agency if we do all this? I don't know. We'll have to find out. I think we will have a 1-year window where a lot of those guys are still very cheap. But then what? So, like, we'll see. Like I said already, we got 50 million in cap next year. If you extend all them guys, I think only Simpson will cut into that. The other guys, well, they'll all cut into it, but like a lot of those guys will be relatively cheap. It's going to be interesting to see. I would love to be major players in next spring's free agency, but we got to be attractive, like you said, and we got to figure out who that we like. We got to figure out ourselves before we can go out and shop. And a sensible scheme that showcases people will help us decide, is Brees worth keeping? Is AVT worth, like, the past few years, man, the scheme was so bad I still don't know what Brees is. I still don't know what Garrett is. Is Garrett just a guy that got 1,100 yards because he was the only guy here? He only had 14 touchdowns in 51 games. Like, I got to know more. So this year is crucial, and we have to have, like, week to week game plans that showcase our talent. Man, I'm so tired of having talent and it just rotting, and I'm being gaslit because I preach how much talent's on this roster, and then they go out and they don't get a first down until the 2-minute warning of the first half. Like, it's just garbage. So, like, can we please just put together an average looking offense, showcase who's good, who's not, compete in games, maybe dominate some trenches? That would be cool. But then come spring, we're not pissed that we didn't make the playoffs. We're more so like, hey, that was a fun season. Now let's build on it.
You're always going to have people pissed off if we don't make the playoffs. People are always going to be pissed off no matter what. Like you said, I just want it to be competitive. I want it to be fun. Like, last year was not fun. It was rough being a Jets fan last year when we have all these high expectations to win the Super Bowl, to go to the playoffs and do all these things and end up winning 5 games. Now, this year, we don't have those high expectations. We have a new head coach, new GM. We have a lot of talent. We're happy because we re-signed Jamie and Sherwood, extended Sauce, extended Garrett. We have all these pieces here, but there's still a lot of question marks. As long as we go out there and we're competitive and, like you said, can get first downs and make the games exciting, be in close games, maybe steal a couple of them, this team can be something. We do have a lot of talent, like you said. It's the coaching. Do we finally have the coaches that can make us thrive? And honestly, I think we do. I really do. And I'm banking on Tanner Engstrand being that solid offensive coordinator that can make our offense watchable. I'm banking that Steve Wilkes and AG can get this defense back to where they need to. And you were talking about players next year wanting to come here. I don't even think we need to be that big of players next year in free agency if we do win. If Andre Sisco has a good year, you're going to need to pay him. I think all these players, John Simpson, you're going to need to pay him. Brees, are you going to be interested in signing him to an extension? Or are you going to franchise tag him? I think if you do the moves that need to be, I think we're going to build this team the right way through the draft.
Run it back.
We're going to supplement for free agency, build through the draft, which is the right way you need to do things here. And I honestly think that Muji and AG can do it. I really have confidence. And you could call me an overly confident Jets fan or a positive Jets fan. I've been called worse. So I really think this team has something here that can turn us into winners down the road sooner rather than later.
So, but here's the thing, though, dude. It boils down to quarterback.
Yeah.
Like, we can have excellent coaches, we can have an excellent team and stuff like that, but if Justin Fields is taking 70 sacks a year and throwing 17, 18 picks and 5 fumbles, like, it's not going to work. Like, doesn't matter. You know, none of that other stuff matters. Like, oh, we might be gritty and we'll have a good defense and stuff, but you're not going to get to the playoffs. If you do get to the playoffs, you're probably first round and out because you're playing somebody like the Cincinnati Bengals who scores 45 on every team they play, no matter how good the defense is. Like I just, you know, we got to figure out quarterback, and that's the whole thing. I mentioned it earlier. I'm worried about the timing. We hired Aaron Glenn. He seems to have like the right mindset, the culture, blah blah blah. Maybe he's bringing in the right guys. Engstrand looks like he could be a positive, but we don't know yet. If he is, that's great. But the thing is we really gotta we really got to get a quarterback. And I just don't know the fan base is patient enough. Are we going to be patient enough to wait to draft a quarterback? And in my opinion, you sit the quarterback that you draft for a year and let the freaking game slow down for him.
Yep.
So he can come in and be relaxed and comfortable when he finally does make his debut. That's my opinion, but it doesn't seem like the NFL does that a whole lot anymore. But yeah, that's just where I'm at. You got to figure out quarterback. So the problem is it feels like we're going in the right direction, but you can't go down that playoff road until you get the quarterback right. That's just how I feel about it.
And you're right. I'll be devil's advocate. The Chicago Bears went to the Super Bowl with Rex Grossman as their quarterback. Trent Dilfer was the quarterback of the Ravens when they won the Super Bowl. You got to have great defenses and stuff like that, and great coaching can get the best out of their quarterbacks. If we get average play to above average play by Justin Fields, we can be a contender in this team. We just got to supplement through the draft and get those pieces and build on this team.
I'm sorry, did Rex Grossman and Trent Dilfer ride dinosaurs to the stadium?
All right, we got Mark Sanchez to 2 AFC championships. Ryan. We got Mark Sanchez to 2 AFC championships, I'm telling you. Like, he wasn't the best quarterback.
Yeah, but he was good in the playoffs. That was the thing about him. He was excellent in the playoffs.
Yeah,
that was,
and who knows what Justin
the weird quirk about him.
Who knows what Justin Fields could be? He hasn't been there yet. But now on this team,
he hadn't even won a game whenever the other team scored 21 or more on him. He was
4-2 last year with the Steelers.
All right. Let me in here.
I love it.
Scott says there is already Jet Media people after a few days of camp saying Fields is the second best quarterback on the team. Thoughts?
And I mentioned it earlier. Tyrod has looked great in training camp so far. He really has. Fields, he's learning. He's getting there. I think Tyrod is a great mentor to Fields. I think he's here to mentor him, to help him out. And I think Fields is going to be fine. It's still early. You got to give the kid some time. I think he's going to be just fine here.
And one other thing I wanted to ask, it was the big fella. He had a great comment. I wanted to ask you, are you as surprised as he is with the Clemens praise from the coaches?
No. Honestly, if you look at Clemens, like before the play, if you've never seen him play a game before, he's built like a football player. He's built like a truck and stuff like that. And AG and Wilkes aren't saying anything crazy like, oh, he's got freakish athleticism. We knew that. He's got great size as a football player. We knew that. It is what it is. If they can coach him right and they can turn him around, this will be a damning indictment on the last regime, because that just proves they didn't know how to coach a player like Clemens. honestly, does he make the team or is he that good? I don't think so. I still have that stupid play in my mind with the Buffalo Bills last year. He was jumping on the pile.
The belly splash play.
Yeah, that still pisses me off.
I like the fuck you, fuck you, fuck
Oh, yeah.
you.
He's funny. I'll give him that. He's funny.
Yeah,
But
he is. Let me ask you this though, like, well, it's not really a question, but like, I think it's kind of a blessing in disguise that Quinnen does have to sit for a week or two. Because what does that mean? That means that all of a sudden you got all these snaps opened up and you can sort it out. Because, like, I talked about it last week. A week ago, 10 days ago, we'll say, Samini had the pecking order next to Quinnen as Cowart, LT3, Tufele, and then Nadi. Not a lot was happening 10 days ago, though. Since then, I'd like to know, A, do you think that pecking order has changed? But B, like, do you think it'll continue changing all the way until week 1?
I think it's going to continue to change because this week you could say that it's Quinnen and then Leonard Taylor III and then Peyton Page, who's been killing it. You could argue Nadi not even being on it, Tefele being over him at the bottom. Another day you could say that Nadi's doing amazing and that he's going to be next to Quinnen. And then Leonard Taylor III has a bad day and is dropped under Cowart and everything. I think it's the biggest thing you're going to need to see is the preseason games, how these guys perform against other teams. If Peyton Page continues to do what he's doing in those games, that kid is going to be a very good rotational piece and could even be the number 2 defensive tackle. He's good in the run game and good in the pass and going after the quarterback. Leonard Taylor III has been making massive strides right now. Byron Cowart has been dominating, and he might be a sneaky good pickup that Muji got as one of our earliest free agent signings, because he never really had that much chance in Chicago. Derek Nadi played next to Jones for many years in Kansas City. He's got a Super Bowl winning pedigree and has been solid in the run game. Last year had a down year. This could be his bounce back year. You have all these players you don't know much about yet. Training camp's great. They're competing. They're busting their butts and everything and actually hitting and tackling each other. But the preseason games are going to be what's the biggest thing.
Agreed. Let me see if I have anything. Okay, I do have 1 or 2 more start I want to hit that were from a little while ago. Jake says, let him say 2 things. A, we sucked. Give him a watchable team and he's happy. The record is whatever. And that's not what most people are saying on social media.
Yeah.
Wilson, he says, we should build him a statue too, man. He got 1,100 yards, really, amongst the worst trash ever. Strong statements from Jake. Any that you disagree with, guys?
No, honestly, the record was whatever. You know, there's going to be people pissed off being like, oh, we suck. We won 5 games or anything. Or even if we win like 8 games or 9 games and we are good competition. Oh, we didn't make the playoffs. This team's garbage. Fire Glenn, fire Muji. You're always going to have those fans. I'm with Jake. As long as we're competitive, as long as we're watchable, like that's all I want. Give me a team that I enjoy watching. Because last year was just heartbreaking to a lot of us Jets fans. That's the biggest thing.
Murph?
No, hey, Jake, I'm right there with you, buddy. Like, I need to see a team that doesn't look like a joke on national television. Like, that's what I need to see. Or even local television, whatever, give me a team that isn't out there just people are just laughing at because of like all the stupid penalties and like even when they make a good play it gets taken back or they just do stupid stuff. Like give me a team that's not a joke, That's my big thing. And Garrett's that dude, man. I'm glad that we re-signed him. Like let him be our Terry McLaurin. Although I know Terry's asking for a trade, whatever, Let him be a Jet for life and have a 1,000-yard season every freaking season that we have him, and end up in the Jets Ring of Honor, or if not a Hall of Fame, whatever. I don't know, but yeah, Garrett's that dude. He does it no matter what, no matter who. He's competitive. He's a good culture guy. Yeah, Garrett's that guy. But give me watchable football. I'm with you, man. Like, if we got to trade up to get our quarterback next year, that's fine. Like, I don't care. I'd rather watch some competitive games this year and have to give up an extra first next year and trade up just to get our guy. I don't care. Like, I'm tired of watching a joke of a football team. Last year broke me, man. Like, it really did.
Some of it was unwatchable to me, guys. It was bad. I
I
don't think I've ever been so frustrated with a team.
During the Zach Wilson era, I struggled because, man, like it was hard because I started like in my brain racking up the amount of 3-hour games that I went through on my couch not cheering at all the whole game because like we were just behind immediately and or just inept, and I thought it was over when we got, at least last season I thought it was over, but it wasn't. It wasn't. Anyways, too depressing. Let's just say I want to put an end to that, and I want to at least cheer and then lose. Can I cheer then lose at the end? That's all. That is major progress for me. And then the next year, maybe I cheer and then don't lose. But we're winding down here, folks, and the Danger Zone phone just rang. We have a fourth person that would like to join us. Ryan, do you have time? Murph, do you have time for a caller?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right.
Always
Well,
time for this stuff.
All right. Well, yeah, this guy is a DZ OG. We love him. Ryan, I hope you're familiar with him. You probably are, just making your way around the circuits. Without further ado, let's bring him out, hear what he has to say about the Jets, the training camp, the Glenn saga, all of it. Without further ado, let's go to him. His name is the one, the only, Charles Gorman.
Hello, Ryan Ward, right? Are you the same guy that does the Mets 40 stuff?
No, I'm a Yankee fan, so no
Not that
Mets
I'm
here.
judging, not that I have a problem with. I said a few choice words in regards to the manager and GM of the Yankees on Discord. So,
Oh, I've
Yeah,
been pissed with Boone. I think he needs to be fired. But anyway,
he should never have been hired. Period. But that's a different story for another time. And it's a pleasure to meet you, Ryan Ward. Right, that's your name.
Yes, nice to meet you as well.
First and foremost, I am a very happy individual. Even though we may or may not make the playoffs this year, let alone the Super Bowl. From where I've been looking, from where I've been hearing, from where I've watched, including on the Jets YouTube channel, it seems that for the first time since the big tuna himself, Bill Parcells, that we've had a legitimate coach and leader for the organization. Now, no disrespect to Darren Muji. I really like what he's done so far. But I'm not surprised what's been going on in training camp, not just the positives, but the negatives as well. Well, I am happy that Arian Smith has looked good. Well, I am happy that Josh Reynolds is so far surpassing Alan Lazard as wide receiver 2 right now. I still think it wouldn't hurt to go out and try to acquire a wide receiver, either it's via trade or via free agency.
I agree. I think this team could definitely use another receiver. Definitely, like I said earlier, it never hurts to add another receiver to this team. It's Garrett Wilson and then a slew of number 3s, in my opinion. Number 3 receivers. If you go out and trade for a receiver, I mentioned Xavier Legette from the Panthers. I think he could be a solid option. Romeo Doubs from the Packers.
I like him, option. But I know a lot of Jet fans think he's most likely, which is maybe true, but I would really be open into considering bringing in Terry McLaurin. I like his game a lot. He's been the stud since
talk
his
to us.
rookie year.
What would you give up?
Well, I obviously wouldn't give him the whole more money than every other receiver in the league, Terry McLaurin, but I would pay him nonetheless. But I would probably give him a couple of late round picks for him. But here's the thing, though. I know people are going to say that, he's in his late 20s or late 30s. Well, let me rewind back a little bit to 2015 when we had a first-time head coach and GM and Todd Bowles and Mike McCagnon. We traded for a receiver that was in his late 20s and early 30s in Brandon Marshall. And even though it wasn't an all-in year, we weren't really expecting much other than to be somewhat competitive and respectable. When we traded for Brandon Marshall, not only it turned out to be a bold decision, it turned out to be a great decision because when Brandon Marshall came to the Jets in 2015, never mind his impact being immediate, he put in that work, man. I mean, his impact was felt. He put in that work, and it changed our whole football team. Yes, we didn't make it to the playoffs, let alone the Super Bowl, but we had our most successful season in the last decade, especially in particular on the offensive side of the football. He was a great compliment to Eric Decker. He improved our passing game in general. He improved our whole offense in general. Even though I think, to my memory serves me correctly, we were still primarily a run-first offense. And by the way, we still had a pretty damn good rushing attack that year. So even though bringing a guy like Terry McLaurin would increase I don't think it would hurt our ability to run the football more so and have an efficient running attack. I think what it will do is give Tanner Angstrand a better opportunity to really establish himself as not only a good offensive coordinator, but a legitimate offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Make
Hey,
a lot of great points.
Brandon Marshall had one of the best wide receiver seasons for the Jets that we've ever seen, really.
Maybe the best. I mean, he was the first Jet receiver to get 100-plus passes, had over 1,500 receiving yards, and tied the franchise record for touchdown receptions in the season, set by Art Powell, who I know very little of, and the currently deceased Hall of Famer Don Maynard.
Exactly. And that's a big name right there, Don Maynard. If you're doing anything like Don Maynard did, you're doing it right. So, hey, that's an excellent comp, man. There are different types of receivers.
I know we traded for, in the past, Braylon Edwards and San Antonio Holmes, but as good as those guys were in terms of talent, they did not even come close. I'm going to be honest with you. I think Brandon Marshall was a better receiver than those guys. And the season he put up in 2015 proved it.
And I think just the combination of Brandon Marshall, Eric Decker, and Anunwa, too, was just so dynamic as well. And I know Anunwa got hurt most of the time, but when he was healthy, the three of them together were dominant, with Ivory as our running back as well. Like, all of them were – that offense was elite, and it was a crime that they didn't make the playoffs in that season.
Well, you could thank quarterback in Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Oh, yeah.
Shot the bed the final week of the season.
It's the Buffalo Bills. I remember that one.
How often do you win 10 games and don't make the playoffs? Like, what the hell, man?
That's
only
a Jets
Jets
luck, man. The Jets
only
luck.
as Jets fans do we have that happen.
Yeah, I remember Braylon Edwards carrying 3 or 4, but that was the shit. That was awesome. And San Antonio Holmes making that beautiful touchdown catch in the corner of the end zone. LT doing his thing. Sean Green putting the game away with that touchdown.
Absolutely. Good times.
I would love to bring Terry McLaurin in. I think it's just going to – I don't know if the Jets are going to be willing to give up what it's going to take to get him. And I honestly don't think the Commanders are going to trade him. He demanded a trade. That is very true. He demanded a trade, yeah. Myles Garrett did the same and ended up getting a monster contract from the Browns. I think the Commanders –
I think the Browns were desperate.
Oh, yeah. I think the Commanders are too. They have Jaden Daniels, who his favorite target last year was McLaurin. And
Zach Ertz, too.
Yeah, Zach Ertz. I know they have Debo now, and I know Murph's a big fan of Debo. I think he's overrated at this point in his career. And you got to keep
too much weight.
Yeah, oh yeah. You got to keep the continuity together and bring your number one guy there back who's dedicated his life to that team. Pay the man.
I'm gonna bring that comment up again. DayngerZone, I'm sorry. I understand how you feel, but I know Fields has yet to prove that he can spread the ball around, but that our goal can be fixed with coaching. The reason why Fields hasn't been able to spread the ball around because A, a lot of the team around him was terrible, and B, the coaching was terrible.
I'll go along with that too, because every system that Fields has been in, it was a system that he had to learn. This system's being built around him and to his skill set. So I think he's going to be able to succeed a little bit better than
Now, I do respect and I do agree we have to pay our other players, but let's be for real. I'm not worried about. I understand, people think it could be a bad move, and I'm not saying they're 100% wrong or they're stupid. I'm not that type of guy, of course. But you gotta look at the picture.
Of course.
Yes, we gotta pay Simpson, AVT, Bree. I understand that 100%. But you also gotta look at the talent we have at the wide receiver. Like shit.
I mean, there's no question he makes this team better the moment he walks in the door. But I gotta be devil's advocate here a little bit, because it's not just who you can't pay later if you pay Terry now. It's also, you take that and you add it to who do we have to give up now to even get Washington to send him over here. So let me ask you, Charles, who do you trade today that they would say, all right, I'm not going to overpay to keep this guy with Jaden Daniels. I'll let you have him. And then also, who are you not paying later because you just paid Scary Terry to play around in Gotham?
I would love to get rid of Michael Clemens, but that's I don't think Washington would accept his ass. Who would I give up?
They signed Javon Kinlaw. You never know.
Well, fuck him. He sucked.
Big money contract for him.
Good point, Ryan.
And I do agree with Eddie McGuire. A number 2 is not necessarily needed in today's NFL. That's true. But it never hurts to have I'm not saying on number 2. We can have. I remember you can argue that Brandon Marshall and Eric Decker, if they went to other teams, they would be the team's number 1 receiver. We technically had 2 wide receivers that could be number 1 receivers on any team.
All right, who that is actually good are you giving them? Then you're paying him. Then who are you not signing next year to keep him?
Brees?
I think he'd have to be added. He's the only one that I would be willing to, because we have decent.
That makes the most sense, right?
Unfortunately, I would have to agree, Brees.
Okay. Would you maybe throw an AVT in the mix or a Jermaine?
No.
Okay. So you're sending them Brees and maybe a third?
A third, yes.
Something like that. I know we don't have a third, but we'll figure that out. Okay. And then you're paying him $30 million, whatever, plus next year. AVT, Simpson, Jermaine, pick one you cannot keep.
I love AVT, but I'm going to say I'm going to have to release AVT and go find a guard in the draft.
Oh, if you had to pick one of the guards, I would rather go with AVT than John Simpson.
I love
keep
Simpson.
Or to keep or to let walk?
I'd let Simpson walk.
I love Simpson. He's impressed the hell out of me last year.
AVT is not?
No, I love AVT. It's just that, I love his act. I know he's more of a technician than a mauler. But, a lot of people, I know people question his dirt, but he can play. People forgot this dude when we had the all-rookie team his first year. And last year, he was pretty damn good. He was one of the better guards in football.
So
but unfortunately, his knock is his ability to stay healthy.
let me ask you though. You just sent away Brees. Next year we don't have AVT, but we have Terry McLaurin. Are we a better team a year from now, or are we a better team standing pat?
Good question. Now I'm thinking about it.
Because there's a good thing here too. In this draft coming up, if you're that desperate for a receiver and the Jets don't do as well as you want, let's say Justin Fields plays really well, but the team just doesn't win, Jeremiah Smith from Ohio State is going to be there at one point. So that could be somebody you target if you're high enough. And keeping those picks, then you could have 2 young stud wide receivers for a long, long time. And then possibly if Fields doesn't work out the next year, let's say Lenora Sellers and Archie Manning don't come out this year.
Archie's the father.
Oh, Arch Manning, sorry. If Arch doesn't come
Drew
out.
Aller from Penn State.
Drew Aller, I think Aller is going to be coming out next year. But let's say he doesn't. Let's say Aller, Manning, and Sellers don't come out this year, but the next year, you get Jeremiah Smith this year, and then Justin Fields doesn't pan out, you get your quarterback.
He's not from Ohio State too, right?
Yeah.
Jeremiah Smith. What I saw from him, he looks good.
Oh, that kid's going to be a monster. He's going to be very, very good.
And didn't Jermichael Finley, Larry Fitzgerald, and the other Legends kids play or transferred to Notre Dame?
I believe so.
Larry Fitzgerald was Pitt.
Yeah.
No, but his son is going to Notre Dame.
I think so. Not off the top of my head, but I believe so.
I
I
don't
saw
know.
something about that.
Oh yeah, Chris B's right. As long as I remember, didn't Brian Hardline play for Ohio State? I know he's the wide receiver coach there.
I'm not sure what his college was, but I know he used to play for the Dolphins.
Yeah.
And the Browns for like 1 or 2 years. Wasn't too bad.
Yeah. He's a good coordinator, man.
I will say you're not alone on an island, Charles, when it comes to keeping Simpson over AVT. Ricky also agrees, simply for the fact that he will be cheaper, and Ricky feels like he fits the nasty run blocking that we need. So he would sign him
he
now.
impressed me as a pass catcher.
AVT has value on the market, and Ricky's even thinking like, hey, if things go a certain way those first 2 months, maybe we do trade AVT at the deadline. I don't know if that means Brees 2 or in lieu of Brees, but like the only thing that gives me pause is I hate our backup guards. Now, hey, maybe Tippmann plays guard and Myers plays center, but I think Myers
is okay at center. I know he's not that good, but I never.
1-year deal.
I heard he wasn't exactly abysmal. I'll take that.
Ryan Ward, preach. What do you think of Zach Myers?
Josh Myers.
Josh Myers. So let's say you did trade AVT at the deadline. If we're competing, we're doing well. AVT gets traded.
We're down a rabbit hole. Go ahead, brother.
Down a rabbit hole. Basically, you bump Josh Myers in at center, AVT. I don't think the offensive line will skip that much of a beat. I think Tippmann's would be a better guard, and Myers has starting experience and has started for the Packers for a while when he was there, and he did a good job. He wasn't an awful center. So I don't think it would be that bad. Would I be happy about it? No, because I love AVT. I think he's going to be a fantastic guy this year. But if that were to happen, I'd be okay with it. But I also think then you'd be trading Brees as well, because then you give Braylon Allen and Isaiah Davis more of a shot in this offense as well.
I do like Braylon Allen, and I do like Isaiah Davis, but more impressively, I don't think we talked about this enough. I think we talked about it briefly a few shows a while back. The fact that Braylon Allen and Brees Hall worked out with the legend himself, Derrick Henry, this offseason brings a huge smile to my face. I'm a huge Derrick Henry fan. and we play against him this year.
That's going to be a fun game this year. I think it's going to be.
I think it's going to be
that's
a
going to be
much
close.
more interesting matchup than people think. That all depends, though, how well Justin Fields plays. And let's say, I don't want it to happen. I'm not one of those Jet fans that want him to fail, which I think is disgraceful. But if he gets hurt or he doesn't plan out, we got Tyrod Taylor. And with all due respect, Tyrod Taylor is a pretty damn solid quarterback.
Yeah.
Even though he's close to 40 now?
Something like that.
He's had success as a starting quarterback in the NFL. I mean, the last time he started for a team, he ended a playoff drought.
Yeah. He's not a bad option, and he's been lighting up training camp so far. So I've been happy with him. If something did happen to Fields, Tyrod is a very good backup quarterback. The problem with Tyrod is he's going to get hurt. He can't stay healthy. And then what are you looking at, Brady?
No, I do agree, but here's the thing, though. Going back to what I said, when he started off and when he became a starter in Buffalo, the offensive line wasn't that great. I'm not saying they were garbage, but they were better in run blocking than pass protection. Plus, I'm not saying the receivers around him were garbage, but his only dynamic receiver was the guy who's been recently retired, Sammy Watkins. Remember him?
Oh, yeah. That guy was coming out. He was supposed to be so good.
He was talented, but unfortunately he couldn't stay healthy. I know he won the Super Bowl with the Chiefs in 2019, if my memory serves me correctly.
Yeah, but he didn't really – I don't know if he did that much in that Super Bowl. He was there.
But he still won. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But my point
Charles,
is – I'm sorry, what, Daniel? Were you saying something?
No, yeah. Go ahead. Your point is what?
What I'm saying is that trying to think. Oh, yes. If I still think, and I do agree with Wardy here, that they should open up the competition for the starting quarterback a bit more. I'm not saying they need to take the job away from Justin Fields. I think they can make it a bit more competitive case. Justin Fields gets hurt, if he doesn't pan out, for this year. I'm not talking about for next year, but for this year.
I wish the competition was closer. I wish they didn't give Justin Fields the starting job automatically, because when he was hired, he said everybody was here to compete. So
I will admit that's something that disappointed me a little bit, but overall, I've been impressed with Aaron Glenn.
Oh, I love what Aaron Glenn's doing. I wish there was a competition with the quarterback. I've been a big Justin Fields supporter. I'm not going to lie about that. I think he's going to do very well. But I wish the competition was a lot closer with him and Tyrod Taylor, because Tyrod Taylor has been the quarterback that has looked better in training camp so far.
Well, Tyrod, with all due respect, has the experience.
Yeah.
He's been in the league. I could be wrong. He's been in the league since either 2010 and 2011. And let's not forget, he was a highly touted quarterback coming from Virginia Tech, where he broke all of Michael Vick's records.
Mm-hmm.
He was legit at Virginia Tech too, man. I spouted this take last week. I think that because it was still when the Fields injury stuff was kind of like up in the air and everything like that, and I was saying, like, if Fields was injured and Tyrod started this season, I have a higher predicted win total than, or if Tyrod's starting than if Fields is. Like, I think Tyrod's a better quarterback right now.
I agree 100%.
Fields has a higher ceiling, but I think
Tyrod. Don't forget when he was on Buffalo and he went up against Tennessee, took a 3rd and 13, and he scrambled like 15 plus yards for a first down. The guy can run, man. The guy can fucking run.
Oh yeah, he's great with his legs.
That's what
Same with Fields. I think that's the good thing about having two mobile quarterbacks. You can create a same offense for it. It's great.
I'd say it. I'm sorry, everybody.
You're good.
Never. Charles, never apologize, brother.
But with all seriousness, though, I mean, I do think that Justin Fields is going to prove maybe not all the dollars, but a good majority of them wrong this year. Prove, hey, when I was in Chicago, I was dealt a shit hand. It's the truth. Like, and plus, going back to Pittsburgh is obviously at this point in time a better run organization than the Bears, but the offensive line was horrible. Plus, the only good thing I heard about their offensive line, especially heading into this season, was their freaking center. Everyone else, their tackles, especially the one they traded up to get in a couple of years ago, and Broderick Jones, he's been a major disappointment. And the guards really ain't anything to write home about.
They're banking on a lot of potential over there in Pittsburgh. They just lost their starting left tackle to Tennessee in free agency.
Who's their starting
Broderick
left tackle?
Jones, I think. It was, oh God, who's on Tennessee now?
Is it Dan Moore?
Yeah, Dan Moore. He was with Pittsburgh last year as the starting left tackle. He went over and signed a big contract with Tennessee.
He ain't
Broderick
that good.
Jones.
He ain't that fucking good.
I know they gave him a good contract over there. Broderick Jones, I think they're bumping him to the left. They got Frazier as their center.
He's good.
They got the one rookie they drafted last year starting at right tackle.
Do they still have Herbick? Nate Herbick?
No, he's gone.
They bring him in, they don't fucking play him. Some bitches.
I think I saw something about Herbig retiring.
He was good with us. I liked him.
Mm-hmm.
I think his nickname was Nasty Nate.
Huh?
I think his nickname was Nasty Nate.
Yeah, he was good when he came in for us. He was very good.
And he goes to the field and they'll put him on the field.
Yeah. Pittsburgh offensive line is going to be really bad this year. They're worse than last year. They're banking on a lot of young players.
That's
rough. They're banking on a 40-plus-year-old Aaron Rodgers who hasn't been a consistently good player since his last MVP season.
But a lot of these NFL analysts are saying that the Pittsburgh Steelers have a great chance of competing this year because of him.
More so because of Mike Tomlin, even though I will admit he's been disappointing me these last few years. I don't dislike the man, but he's been a bit of a disappointment the last few years. So I still like the man. I still respect the man, but I don't like how he's coached and led this team the past few years.
I've questioned his quarterback picks. Kenny Pickett was okay for them. Then they got Mason Rudolph. Then he leaves. He comes back. I like Will Howard, who they drafted, but don't know what he's going to be like.
State?
Yep.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
they had Mitch Trubisky there for a while over there.
Oh my God, that fucking dude was garbage.
Duck Hodges over there.
Oh my God. Put a bullet in my mouth. Put a gun in my mouth.
That's
why I'm out of gun, but I'm just saying those guys were bad.
Oh yeah.
Steelers fans are learning that it's tough whenever you don't have a Hall of Fame quarterback behind center. You know what I mean? They're learning like, oh shit, it's hard to actually win playoff games.
Well, post up Ricky's comment. He said, O-line is not that good. 4 or 5 sacks. I say, fuck that. How about 7? 7 sacks on that motherfucker. Eat that. Are the girls around? The kids around? Eat that ass up.
All right.
Eat that ass up.
Let me in here. Hold on, Charles, because I got to throw this at Murph. Alan, welcome, brother. Haven't seen you in a while. Thanks for joining us. He agrees with me. 12 million per is paltry when you're talking AVT extension numbers. I know Ricky was at 24, and you and I both chimed in as a chat and said, whoa, bro, that's a lot. You said 12. I said like 16. Alan says 12 is way too low. Thoughts? I'll throw it to the whole panel. Is AVT getting more than 12? Is he getting 15 to 20? Is he getting closer to 20? Charles, I'll take you last, and then I'll get your final takes. I'm going to first go to Ryan, and then I'll work my way around.
Getting 12. I think he can get like 12 to 13. He's a guard. He's not going to be paid that well like what a tackle would be. I think 12 is fine. I don't know if he gets that, though. that would be a good contract for him. I think he would take it in a heartbeat for making $12 million a year.
Yeah. Hey, I'm right there too. He's a guard. He's not going to get paid like a tackle. I understand that the money's going up, the TV deals, things like that. It's possible you could sell me on 14 or 15, but I'm thinking he's around 12 range, even healthy, whatever, because you have to look at his body of work, right? You're not just looking at like just the last year, like you're taking into consideration that he has had injury issues and then he's also struggled whenever he came back because he wasn't rookie year AVT even when he was healthy. Last year was okay, but it wasn't rookie year AVT. We were seeing like, dude, this dude's got all pro potential when we saw him as a rookie. So now if he made an all pro this coming year, maybe you could sell me on higher. But I'm just saying, like, you look at the entire body of work whenever you're looking up when you're drawing out this contract. And I think with the entire body of work, even if he does have a solid season this coming season, it's probably like 12, 13 or something,
Okay,
Charles.
fair. Charles, yeah. Thoughts on AVT's contract extension should it happen before the deadline? Do you have a number in mind? Do you care? Like, what's your hard line you're not giving him more than this?
I say between 12 to 15 million a year isn't a bad idea, but I do have to agree with Daniel Murphy here. He's been good. He hasn't been an embarrassment, but compared to what we saw his rookie year in 2021, he looked like an all-pro guard. Like, this dude could be an all-pro, Hall of Fame caliber player. And well, obviously he played well the next couple of years, but at the same time, he missed most of those seasons due to an injury. Now, last year, he didn't suck at all. He was good, but he wasn't exactly the same player we saw his rookie year. And from what I've seen so far in training camp, he's building his strength up. He's doing what he has to do. But I still believe I'm not giving up on AVT at all whatsoever. I don't think Jet fans should either, which to me is disgraceful for those that are. But I would not give him. This year he's on his 50-year option, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
This is his 50-year option. Just want to make sure, just sometimes I have a bad paying attention or keeping up with shit. Laugh out loud.
He's like 15 million on the cap, 100% on the cap right now. So yeah, if you want to extend him, I think that 15 mil still stays in effect even if you do extend him now. We picked up the option. Yeah.
I
So
wouldn't
it's
extend
regardless.
him. Maybe not until like the season, but I would see on how he plays this year. And then I would wait either till later at some point in the season, maybe during the time when they're at. Maybe some point in the week where it's time to extend his contract. But I would say more so wait till after the season. Before shit. And I would still say, see how he performs. The guy can play ball. We saw him in the USC, and we saw him in the NFL, especially as a rookie. So I say yes, but not right now.
Charles, thanks for joining us in the Danger Zone tonight, man. Have a good weekend, okay, brother?
You two, are you going to the event tomorrow?
Nah, man, I'm across the country, my dude.
Well, I'll let you know how it goes. Thank you so much for bringing me on. Hopefully one of these days we get to meet up in person. Peace out.
See you later, bud. Nice meeting
I
you.
look forward
Pleasure,
to it.
man. Keep up the good work.
Later.
Thank you so much. Have a
Let's
wonderful
go,
rest of your
Mets.
night. Go Yankees.
Murph, do you
Hey,
want to
your Mets
throw
have
in
been
a
making some big moves, man.
dude? New bullpen, baby. New bullpen. Murph's looking for his last World Series title over there. Just kidding.
Oh no. I'm sorry.
Get that thing out of here.
Thank you for betting.
I'm not really a big
that was a
Puff
great
fan.
trade.
I'm I'm not really a baseball fan, but I've gone to a few Pirates games, and they have a beautiful stadium, and it's a fun time every time I go. So I guess if I follow a team, I guess it would be them. But ugh,
I can't sit on it any like. Let me in here. Got to get to the chat. I gotta say, Ricky, he praises us. He said we crushed it tonight. I don't know if we crushed it, but I do know that we hit a lot of broad topics that people that do the day-to-day content don't always get the chance to talk about. And I feel like here we kind of do. We can sit back and not just look at the day-to-day and actually look broad. And that for me is therapy because I do like the big picture and the long view of the team because recently the day-to-day hasn't been very good. So I kind of have to do that. But regardless, Ricky says we crushed it. So praise both you guys. I also want to bring up that Crispy, Charles did phenomenal. I want to echo that. He did
He was
good.
awesome. So cool.
He had a little crackle there. I don't know if YouTube will hear it, but in here it was a little crackle. But he had great takes and he has strong takes. I don't even care if they're great. If you have strong takes, then we can debate, and I like that. The chat is still talking about AVT, man, and that is such a polarizing topic. As we wind down here, like, is there anything like for me? I'd be willing to lock him up before seeing him on Sundays this year. I feel like you two, or at least Murph, is not willing to do it sooner than that. Ryan, so I throw it to you. Like, what would the number have to be for you to do it before week one? And then once week one hits, are you just saying, fuck it, I'm waiting till next spring? Where are you at there as we wind down?
If the Jets were to extend another person before the season starts, it would have to be AVT. I think you'd want to lock him down. The number at most, I think you got to give him like a 3-year contract. I think it has to be at most $15 million a year. I think that would satisfy him. I know his agent's probably going to argue that he's a right tackle and stuff, and he should be paid like a right tackle. No, he's a right guard. That's what he should be paid like. And people keep bringing up Zach Tom. Zach Tom's the right tackle. He's not a guard. So that he got like $22 million because he's getting paid tackle money, right? I think AVT is going to be 3 years, $15 million a year, because I think Muji is going to show him that we want you here, just like you did to Garrett Wilson. But if we don't sign him before the season starts, you got to see what you got in him. Wait till the end of the year.
Yes, it could go up or it could go down. And I was at 3 for 50. It's a little better than 3 for 45, but it's not far off. I mean, it's in that ballpark. So yeah, I think if you offer him 12, not that he would take it as a slight. I just think he would say, "Let me just play this year out."
Right.
So, like, I don't mean to knock your idea, Murph. It's probably wise considering he's missed like 20 games.
It's a good idea. It's a big idea too. Murph brings up a good point because if you do give him the contract, what happens if he's out for the season? You gave him that monster contract, locked him down for 3 years, and what happens if he comes back and he's not the same? You never know with these linemen, especially if you get like a serious knee injury, that could be devastating. Like the Cowboys were just panicking about Tyler Guyton with his knee injury. Luckily, it's not serious, but imagine if it was. Young player going down like that. AVT's dealt with some injuries. Luckily, nothing with the legs. But what happens if he does and he doesn't come back? If he comes back and he's not the same. So I can understand why you wouldn't want to extend him right now. But I think he's a big asset to this team.
Dude, you have been here 3 hours with us. Let me just say kudos to you, brother. You don't do 3-hour streams like we do all the time. You killed it, man. You killed it. Everything we lobbed at you, some were soft tosses, some were Edwin Diaz in the 9th inning, and you hit them all, bro. They weren't Stroman pitches.
He's gone. He got cut from the Yankees. He's gone. Mets can take him back.
Nope, I'm good. But Murph, anything to add before we say goodbye to Ryan?
No, I mean, if we're talking AVT, I was going off the basis that we're signing him like tomorrow, like re-signing him tomorrow. I think that if we get 5 weeks out of him and he's playing like an absolute stud, then maybe that number can go up. Guards are getting overpaid right now. I mean, the Robert Hunt 20 million a year that blew me away, and then Ricky kept bringing up Zach Tom, so I had to look it up. It's 22 million a year. I'm like, geez, Louise. So maybe, but I just feel like most guards are around that 12, 15 range, like good starting quality guards. So I just think that you're not going to pay AVT like he's an all pro whenever he's hardly staying healthy, and then when he has played recently, it hasn't been phenomenal. It's been decent, good, but not phenomenal. So I'm a little more hesitant about it. I want AVT back, but if it were up to me, we'd sign him tomorrow for 14 million a year or whatever, and be done with it. But
would you go higher if he has a great year this year? Or is that your bottom line ceiling for him, despite whether he like puts in the best year he's had?
Well, you wouldn't have a choice.
Yeah.
But to go, I mean, I think, I don't know. At that point, you start looking at Simpson, right? And you start thinking, well, I'm probably not paying both of these guys. And you start looking at Simpson. It's like, well, can I get Simpson for 10 and get 85% of what AVT gives me, and then you're like looking at drafting a guy again or something like that, because you can't pay 20 million plus a year to a guard when we have, right now we got two young tackles that are on rookie deals, but those guys are going to want to get paid too, and we have a lot of other people that need to be paid as well right now as it is. So
everybody can't command 20 million AAV, and we have like 10 guys that everybody wants to give 20 to.
Exactly.
I'm with you. Not that I agree. I'm with you. If he balls out, he'll probably get 20 from me. At the expense of Brees. We'll see, man. Maybe I'd give him 20 on a shorter deal. Would you, 2 for 4 or like 2 for 40? Yeah, sure.
I can see that.
Yeah, but you can't give him 5 for 100. That's a whole different argument. But dude, Ryan, again, tell us what you're working on lately. Tell us, talk to us like we've never seen your content. What do we have in store from the DayngerZord for the month of August?
Oh man. So Saturday, I'm planning on going live at 9:00, going over my power rankings for cornerbacks. So be ready for that one. I have some hot takes when it comes to the cornerbacks. So be ready for that. Other than that, just making content as it comes up. I made a video on Micah Parsons today and why I don't think the Jets should trade for him and everything. Just doing what I can. Anytime there's information out, I'm trying to get it out to you guys, Jet stuff or any NFL stuff. It was a pleasure, guys. I love coming on here. You guys do amazing work. Make sure in the chat, your chat's awesome as well. Make sure in the chat you like and subscribe to their channel. They do awesome work. Fun to talk with you guys, and I was so happy that you asked me to come on. It was a blast, man.
Dude, short notice too. So thank you. Go ahead, Murph.
Hey, we were happy to have you, Ryan. You like everybody's saying, dude, you killed it. And guys, Ryan is a dude that will keep you up to date on the NFL for real. He is on top of that stuff, and so he's an excellent channel to follow for real. Like, yeah, as you guys know, just listening to him, he has great takes. He has fun takes to follow, and the rankings and the videos keeping you up to date on everything that's going on. Like, yeah, excellent follow.
Appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much again for having me on.
TheJetsWard signing off, brother. Have a good night. And tomorrow morning, 9 a.m., you're saying?
No.
Oh,
Saturday 9 p.m. 9
9
p.m.
p.m. Okay,
Yes.
thank you. I was like, damn, bro.
Oh, no.
That's
I
more.
can't get
That's
up
more
that
our
early.
style. Yeah.
No.
All right, brother. We'll check in tomorrow night, see how you're doing. But for now, man, you killed it in the danger zone. We'll see you again before week 1, or maybe right around week 1. Okay, brother.
Whenever you need me, I'm happy to be on, man. Love
All
it.
right.
Thank
Hey,
you guys.
good
See you
night,
guys
brother.
next time.
See you, dude. I think it's safe to say, man, another Danger Zone episode in the books, man. We talked a lot tonight. We talked about mostly long term, broad stroke things, like I've mentioned already once or twice. We've also, especially in the first half of the show, we talked a lot of the day to day and short vision stuff. Is there something maybe that we hit that you want to chime in on, like the wide receiver 2 debate, or the CB2, or the safety 4, or the linebacker 3, or the running back 1, or anything, Murph? Or are you just over it and want to just look forward to next week, when we're looking forward to a preseason game next Saturday?
Yeah. Yeah, dude, it's coming right up. That's awesome. Um, Dude, there's so much I could gloss over. We could go another freaking 3 hours if I really got into it. But the one main thing that I did kind of want to just bring up for sure is hearing that Brandon Smith is killing it once again in preseason, or well, not preseason, training camp for us. That excites me because I was getting a little excited last year seeing all the stuff that he was doing, and if this kid is developing and he's obviously got the talent, that could be a sneaky grab for us, man. So
6'5".
somebody keep our eyes on, man. That Brandon Smith, he could be something for us. So we'll see how it goes, but I loved hearing that.
I agree. I didn't realize he was 6.5 feet tall, man. Like that's a big body, one that we need. But at the same time, like, I feel like Ryan, he saw them in person. He saw them day to day. Like, he's high on him already. I got to see it in the preseason, man. I do, and not just one time. I need to see it the entire preseason. Throw the ball, because we'll run the ball later. Throw the ball all of August. Can you just pass and pass and pass so we can figure this shit out? Because I already know what O line I want. I already know what running backs I want. I know pretty much know what tight ends I want. Don't tell Rucker, but um, pass the ball, man. Let's see who can catch. Let's see who can't. And let's pretend like each game is life or death, so that in the fourth quarter, the cream will rise, man. The cream will rise. And that's what we need. To we need to put we need to throw all these guys in a pressure cooker. How are you going to do it, man? You're not going to do it with joint scrimmages. I mean, you can try, but you need to see it in preseason football, and I hope we take it like that mentality. Please. Same with the secondary, same with the safety room, same with the guy next to Quinnen, because Quinnen ain't playing in the preseason, man. Let's just see. That's all I'm going to be looking at. I'm not looking at the final score. I want to look at these key spots where we have key battles, because I don't want another Kinlaw and another Clemens, another Lazard, another. Anyways, guys, we're saying goodbye, but I just wanted to tell you that first week ever, down in the description, not only will you find Ryan Ward's blue link, you can find his channel. If you scroll down a little further, I am offering these koozies to the audience. They've seen them. They've seen me, Murph, and Scott showing them off for like 8 months. I figured, you know what? They're like $8. If you send me 10, you want one, go ahead, man. The details are down below. I don't care. You do or you don't. But we can all be KooZie bros, if you deem necessary. Murph, man, we weren't feeling it tonight, but I think we put together the best 3.5 we were gonna do. Dude, Ryan killed it. You killed it. I was able to step away a few times, which I appreciate. I wasn't feeling it, but I feel like I brought, dude. We got August football. We got a game next week. We got to look forward to. We'll have a guest next Friday. We'll have a guest the Friday after, man. Just want to say I appreciate you. Crispy in the chat still killing it. Ricky, you haven't been here often, bro, but tonight your presence was felt. You provided key takes. Appreciate you, man. Follow him. Murph, I'm rambling. Anything to add?
No, man. Honestly, the show, like you said, we went into it and we're like, oh man, we're tired. We're we're not as up to date as we want to be. Things like that. And Ryan came in and he lit a fire up on our asses and everything went great, man. And once again, we had another great show, in my opinion. And also, man, the chat absolutely destroyed it tonight, and we appreciate the hell out of you guys. It was awesome. I love hanging out with you guys, having a couple drinks, and just talking ball, man. It's always a good time.
Dude.
Friday nights are awesome.
Dude, shout out Jake Asman, Buffalo Jet fan, Dom C, DKB, all stopping and showing some love. Shout out the big fella. Shout out Hazel. Shout out Ricky New York, Chris B. Shout out Rich. I mean, everyone showed out. You can tell that the season is upon us. There's still 10 in YouTube and it's 1 a.m. on the East Coast. So shout out to you guys. Spike the like button. Murph, let you go, man. You got a Saturday ahead of you. I'm going to go as well. Let's hit the intro one last time for anyone who still wants to hear it. Dude, good night from the Danger Zone and Danger Zone Live with Murph. Have a good weekend, man. Later.
You too. Take it easy, guys.
You're in the danger zone.
Totally, back row.